What really gets my dick hard is...
So fucking what?
Welcome to Metal Up Your Podcast. I'm Ethan Luck.
And I'm Clint Wells.
And back again,
Paul Moak.
Paul Moak is here.
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Paul.
Welcome,
Everyone
Paul.
give it up for Paul.
Yeah,
Paul Moak.
We're happy to have Paul Moak back because we are, as you know, we are revisiting Hardwired. This is part 2 of our Hardwired episode. And it's a Greg Fidelman production, so why not have Paul back?
Yeah, it feels good on the heels of our last episode, the Greg Fidelman analysis, to have Paul here to give us some insight.
And a huge milestone episode for us. This is episode 50.
All right.
Congratulations,
This is a
you
big
guys.
one, yeah. Well, I think it's also, it's a big one, a milestone episode, like I said, and I think it's something that, you either plan something special for it, but I think revisiting Hardwired, especially now that it's been out a year, we just hit the anniversary of it. What a, great way to, tie it into this episode.
We actually didn't even plan it this way, but it's a year since the record came out.
Yeah.
We just did our Greg Fidelman episode. It feels like the right time. Plus, I've listened to Hardwired. That's the Metallica record I've listened to the most this year.
Me too, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I get it. It's a new record. We're all excited, but it's that good.
Mine was Lulu.
Yeah. Paul wears Lulu out. He's got the vinyl of it. And
Paul's
stuff.
dress is the Lulu, the from the cover, that weird mannequin chick right now. So for those of you who are actually maybe joining us for the first time somehow, we're an all Metallica podcast. Ethan and I are 2 professional touring musicians based in Nashville, Tennessee, who get together once a week to talk about all of our favorite band, the mighty Metallica, the greatest metal band of all time.
All time.
And Paul Moak, our guest host, if you've never heard of us before, he is a producer, a mixer, an engineer in town. He runs one of the coolest studios. Ethan has made one of his solo EPs there. We both tracked on records with Paul.
I would venture to say the coolest studio in Nashville.
It's my favorite.
It's mine too, yeah. And
It's
we're
mine.
not.
Mine.
It's yours too.
Yeah, my favorite as well.
Shocking.
We're not saying that because you're sitting right here, Paul. It really is a badass studio. And if anyone listening, needs some recording done, needs an album made, a song written with Paul.
What's your website, Paul?
PaulMoakmusic.com.
And even if you're just a gear nerd, you should go there and just see all the cool gear they have. It's unbelievable. So now we have an exciting thing. We've been talking about this iTunes contest for months now, where Ethan and I have decided that from the beginning we wanted to try to give back to our fans. We used to give out Metal Up Your Podcast guitar picks. We've upped the ante on that quite a bit here.
Yeah, quite.
For the past several months, the contest has been, if you leave us a positive review on iTunes, we are going to draw 5 names at the end of each month. Those 5 people will receive gifts that we've purchased through the donations of our patrons. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
And here we are, our first big giveaway month, and we're going to draw the 5 names right now.
Right now.
Amazing.
Are you guys ready?
I hope everyone's ready at home.
Hang on, I'm not ready.
Let's go. Paul?
Paul?
Okay, I'm ready.
So what I did was I took every name and I looked at not only the U.S. reviews, but also our friends in Germany and Switzerland and Poland, and we're representing maybe 15 or 20 countries.
Yeah, it's
here.
amazing.
Did you get South Africa?
South Africa is literally on the list.
For real?
Yeah.
Literally South Africa is in here, represented in here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can hear me. This is my cool skull vase that my wife got me. We're going to draw the first name. Now, this first prize is for a Master of Puppets flask.
Ooh.
Yes.
For those of you who wanting to hide your alcoholism from your coworkers, this is the best thing.
What better way to do it?
So now Ethan's going to draw our first name here.
I am. Give me this thing.
All right, for the winner of the Master of Puppets flask, we got Paul's
doing the drum roll.
immaculate drum roll.
All right, I think I got one here. All right, here's your vase back. The Master of Puppets flask goes to Delio777, DELIO 777. Left their comment on 11/22/17, and they are from the United States.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
All right.
You've won a Metallica flask.
Now, here's the deal, which, by the way, before we move on, if you hear your name and you've won, you need to send us an email that says iTunes Review Contest. In that email, you say, hey, I'm Delio, or whatever the name is you just read. I won the flask. Here's my address. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Don't try to fuck with us, and none of our listeners are capable or willing to try to get by on this, but don't send in a thing if you're not the actual winner. It pains me to even say that out loud.
Yeah, don't be that asshole.
Now, here's the deal. Now, some of these people might have gotten off the ride with us. Some of these people may have passed away, or it's true, statistically.
I hope not.
Some of them may not be Metallica fans anymore. I don't know. We're going to give you 1 week. Now, if you don't write into us in 1 week, your name will go back into the Voss, but we will do another drawing. That's how this is going to have to work.
I mean, I say if you don't get back to us within a week, your name's out of the contest.
All right. Well, Ethan has spoken.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
People are really engaged with our show. We have awesome fans out there. I don't think we're going to encounter this, but if you take longer than a week, then come on. Then maybe you're not listening anymore, and maybe you don't care.
And the whole deal is we're engaging with our listeners, right? So this really is for the active listeners,
right?
And this is an appreciation for the review. So I guess that's going to be the new rule, you know. So well, hopefully you're all listening.
So let it be written.
You guys are harsh, man.
Yeah, this is some harsh shit. All right, our next winner now the next prize, the fourth prize, is a collection of 4 Metallica themed pint glasses. Drum roll, please, Mr. Paul Moak. And the winner is M. Bennessee, MBENNESE 94. The review was left on March 13th, 2017. Another U.S. winner.
America.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on winning those pint glasses. Again, for the alcoholic deep inside your soul.
Those pint glasses are bitching. I'm jealous.
All right, what's the next one for?
The next one is for 2... Actually, they're not pint glasses, Ethan. They're the shot glasses.
Oh, the shot glasses.
The shot glasses, yeah. They're 4 shot glasses. It's the Justice for All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and a 4th one that I can't remember.
Saint Anger.
Now this one is for 2 pint glasses, a Master of Puppets themed pint glass and a Ride the Lightning themed pint glass. This is our 3rd prize, and the winner is...
Get it, Paul. Get it.
Let's go, Portugal.
I got the drum roll.
Pulling for Portugal, huh?
Matt from New Jersey. Matt from NJ. 10-2-17 US.
Wow. From New Jersey.
New Jersey. I know where that is.
Well, congratulations, Matt from New Jersey.
Matt from New Jersey is going to have some sweet pint glasses to drink some.
Oh, man. Imagine he's going to show... Here's what he's going to do. I already know it. He's going to show up at work the next day, big day at the office. He's going to take that pint glass. He's going to put it right on the front, right in the center of the conference table. And his boss is going to go, you know what, Matt from New Jersey? You get a fucking raise. You've been fucking promoted.
Yeah. We don't even know what we're promoting you to, but your paycheck's going
There's
up.
not a position available, but you're promoted.
Yeah.
And Matt's going to say, oh, I didn't know you were a Metallica fan. He's going to go, I'm not. Never heard of him. But you're fucking promoted just because you have a pint glass with a bunch of crosses on it.
There you go.
And then he pulls out his second one, the Red Lightning one.
And he goes, you're fired.
Exactly.
All right, our next, Ethan will draw from our next, for our next prize. Now, our next prize, the number 2 prize. This is for a beautiful, luxurious, very warm, and very stylish Master of Puppets fleece blanket.
I've got one, and Clint's got a Red Lightning one, and we can vouch for it. They are warm, they are cozy, way softer than I expected.
They will keep your little private parts very warm throughout the cold winter months here. All right.
The Vina is, I think it's Alusk, ALUSK. Left on September 1st, and also U.S. Clint, can you confirm that for me?
A. Lusk. Let's see, because I just wrote this in my chicken scratch. Yeah, A. Lusk. All right. Congratulations, A. Lusk.
Yeah.
You've won a Master of Puppets blanket that will keep you and all your loved ones warm for decades to come. Congratulations. Now,
perfect time for winter.
Here is the Big Daddy prize. Now, the Big Daddy prize is the Master of Puppets Deluxe box set. It just came out this month.
Oh, my gosh.
$200 value.
Oh, my gosh.
Can we get a drum roll, please?
An actual drum roll.
Drum roll.
And the winner of the Master of Puppets Deluxe box set is Suck a Preview Form, left on March 30th, 2017 from the U.S. Congratulations, Suck a Preview Form.
Suck a Preview Form. Congratulations.
All right, and that was the contest. That's as easy as that.
Easy as that. See, people really do win on Metal Up Your Podcast.
Wow. Only if you live in the U.S., though.
Yeah, those are all. I mean, our main bulk of listeners are from the United States, but I was really hoping I was going to pull something from Europe, and you know.
Well, I guarantee you all, every country is represented, and every month your chances get better for winning the next month.
Yeah,
because the pool gets smaller. Unless we get 1 million reviews in the next few days, which we should.
I think we will.
Which we will appeal to you guys. So go leave us that review if you want to be a part of the game. Here's the deal. It's just free shit for you. It's fun. Maybe you didn't win, then no need to be bummed. It's free shit anyway.
Do we want to talk about what the next Big Daddy thing is that we're going to give away?
We've decided that the month of December is going to be a Ride the Lightning themed giveaway.
Yep.
And the Big Daddy prize is going to be the Ride the Lightning Deluxe box set.
There you
go. Oh, yeah.
I want that.
We have already purchased it, and it's already sitting in my fucking studio right now.
Has it been so hard not to open all this
begging
shit?
me to open it. Just begging me to open it to make sure it's all there.
Yeah, you want to double check.
Make sure it sounds great.
Make sure it sounds great in your car, in your house.
Yeah. Maybe put it in my pants and take it on a trip with me somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
So let's talk about patrons. So that we were able to buy all this through the generous donations of our patrons. You want to maybe talk about?
Yeah, we
what
put
that
it
is?
all. We put everything you guys donate on Patreon. We put all back into the show. And if you know what Patreon is, it's a way to give back to the show in a financial way. We have different tiers of things you can donate to. Anything above $5, you will very soon, probably in the next few weeks here, be receiving me and Clint's Metallica covers EP. We each did 3 songs. So yeah, go check it out, patreon.com/metalupyourpodcast. And here are our new patrons this week. We have Chuck Stoll, Ken Hale, Jason Wood, Benjamin in Summerdale, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, of course. And Nick Makoviak actually increased his pledge.
Very cool.
Nice, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Round
so
of applause
much.
for our new patrons.
So much clapping this episode.
We got a lot to celebrate, dude.
So much to celebrate, man. So yeah, that's what Patreon is, and those are our new patrons. We can't thank you enough for supporting our show. And like we said before, it just goes back into everything we're doing, whether that is paying for the hosting of the website or gifts like we just gave away. Yeah, we can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's just a way for us all to get on the ride together, you know?
Yeah.
We like being interactive with our listeners, and we're all just fans of the band. So it's a way for us to all be excited and say thanks and all that stuff. So with no further ado, so let's talk about our socials. We're on Facebook. If I know you guys are clacking away on Facebook all goddamn day, every day. If you're anything like my wife or other people I know. We're on that. I'm not, but
you're not.
We are.
I am. I'm. If you get a response on Facebook, it's just from me because Clint abandoned Facebook. As much as I would love to do it, I can't because then no one's going to talk to you guys on Facebook. But so
he's
we're
doing
on
it
there.
for you guys.
What's that?
You're doing it for the fans.
Oh yeah, it's only for the fans.
Yeah.
Well, just until you guys get your social media director, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to hire my 13.
Paul's put in an
13-year-old
application
niece.
just today.
Yeah. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on all that shit. You know how to find us. We've talked about this for almost a year now.
Just today, I both uploaded me playing Atlas Rise. Ethan uploaded him playing Moth in the Flame. There's all sorts of fun little nuggets like that.
Did you guys plan that? Because they were back to back.
We did not plan it.
I was scrolling through. I was like, oh, cool. Like,
well,
and then
I
the very
saw-
next one.
I saw.
Now
Clint's,
you guys are trying too hard.
No. This is
that was our social media director told us to do it.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I saw Clint's this morning, and then a couple hours later, I was down here playing guitar anyways in my studio, and I thought, well, since we're doing the Hardwired episode, I'll put up another Hardwired clip. So
There you go.
I'll confess to you, I was jealous because that main fast thrashy riff to Moth, I can't do.
with the
Yeah, I can't do triplets.
Really?
Only on the top string when I have to pull off. Like I can do Disposable Heroes.
Yeah.
I've got a video of me doing that, but pulling off on that F, I can't do the triplets on that. I don't know why.
It sucks.
Reload sucks.
It's a fun one. It actually, I hadn't actually sat down and learned that one yet, and it took me a bit to get when you go from the
Oh yeah, great little hook.
when it goes into the verse. It's actually why I didn't post it, because you have to go from that riff down to that F first.
Oh, yeah.
It's a quick little change, and I had a bunch of other shit to do today, so I didn't really commit to it, but I got the intro down.
Just think of how effortlessly James does that. Oh, not only did he write it, but he does it and sings it in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Do you think that if it was your job to learn the catalog, you could play all the guitar parts?
Wow, that's a great question.
Rhythm?
I think I could honestly do 85% of it, and I think I would fake the 15, and I would still get the gig, but I would fake.
Yeah.
I think
That's called my entire career.
Exactly. How do you think we've gotten where we are?
yeah. Come on, that's how we
do you
that's
put
what
What
we're-
about you, dude?
Yeah, dude, he's got a great right hand. He probably
Yeah.
could really do all of it.
I feel confident that I could probably get all the rhythm down.
So I said 85%. Just on say James fell off a skateboard again, broke every bone in his body.
Yeah.
Again, because we all
But
know
he can
that.
still sing.
Every
We already know that he did it. Could you cover James the way that John Marshall did?
Yes, I think I could.
Okay.
Yeah, confidently. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I need a lot of practice and this and that, and get my right hand even faster. But yeah.
That right hand, man, it's no fucking joke. And
Dude, when I was still playing in my old metal band Demon Hunter, like my right hand was no joke. If I could speak,
you gotten it really
pridefully.
Well, that's the real thing about in terms of dexterity and muscle for the right hand. It really is about practice.
Yeah, just that and conditioning. It's like, I mean,
like
you know,
there's shit that Steve Vai does. I'm like, oh, I could never do that in a million years because
Right.
he's an alien.
Right.
But the right hand chugga tight thing is really rote and memory and muscle.
I've also noticed too that it's easier for me to play a lot of that stuff, like the Moth and the Flame thing, or play like anything fast
On drugs,
if I'm standing
on cocaine,
up. On cocaine,
If you're standing
yes,
up on
yeah,
cocaine.
exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm standing up.
Okay.
When I'm sitting down, it's like
Yeah.
it's to me it's like a whole arm thing. It's not just moving your wrist. It's like my whole arm is kind of getting.
Well, see,
into it.
we're getting really into this, but my problem is that I use too much of my arm.
Yeah. Mhm.
So just when you think about the physics of it, the movement, I fatigue sooner than if I kept it at my wrist.
Yeah, it's more about the wrist.
It's all about getting the
But
wrist.
it really shows how like athletic this style of music
No
is
doubt.
for a guitar player.
Especially when you think about running around a deck, running on a snake pit catwalk, and singing. It's no joke. You got to be in shape to do this, especially in your mid 50s the way they are.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to talk all about that. I'm really excited. I'm as excited about Hardwired as I've ever been. We mentioned this last week a little bit. I've burnt it all down again today like 6 times. I watched the making of it today.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to diving into it track by track. First, let's get to some motherfucking emails.
Some emails.
All right, Ethan. Let's hear from Nick Garcia here.
Oh, Nick Garcia. Longtime fan of the show.
He's one of the dudes that I met in Portland.
Yeah, and I feel like we can say longtime fan of what the show or whatever
we're
now
old
because
now.
dude,
You're at 50.
We're at 50 and we're approaching a year.
But what is 50 in podcast years?
It's like 2 years old.
So
you're
you're
still
starting to tease.
You're still we're starting to teeth right now. Yeah, there's our terrible twos right now. I don't think it's like dog years.
Actually, I think teeth come in way before that. I don't even know why.
Teeth come in a bit before 2 years old. Yeah.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Don't you have 2 children?
Yes, but
You
we're
have
so
kids.
and that was like a fog. We're so far beyond that. You know?
Well, I believe that.
All right, our first email is from Nick Garcia. It says, "Hey guys, just got done with the latest episode. Love of the return of Paul Moak." Well, guess what? He's here again. His insight into production issues is always super interesting to listen to. Really though, I had to write in to defend Rhino Bucket. They had a few songs on
The only person who's ever heard of Rhino Bucket.
Yeah, this is Nick Garcia. They had a few songs on the radio back in the early 90s, at least in Southern California. I'm from Southern California, and I definitely don't remember Rhino Bucket on the radio, but I don't know what station you're listening to. I was listening to KNAC. Let's see. He says, listen to some song titles here. "Hey There" and "Beat to Death Like a Dog" were played on the radio, and I liked them enough to buy the album they were on. The second album, "Get Used to It," sure, they sound like poor man's AC/DC, but that's part of their charm. Keep it up, guys. From Nick Garcia.
Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for the insight.
I'm going to check it out actually because of this email.
He sent them to me. I didn't have a chance to jam on it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. I'll check. Man, I'll give Rhino Bucket a shot. I'll give him the old Pepsi challenge.
Hey, man, poor man's AC/DC. I mean, that, you know.
You know what's
that can't
fucking
be all
crazy?
bad.
Rhino Bucket might be my new favorite band. It's really, the odds are, the possibilities are that wide.
There's a good chance.
Oh my God, man, where's Rhino Bucket been my whole life, dude?
Man, why don't you get back together and tour?
You can't put a rhino in a bucket. That's a big ass bucket.
That's a heavy bucket, too.
Right there, the heavy. We'll save Pawpaw. We'll keep Pawpaw in the.
Yeah, keep
we'll
Pawpaw
him in.
contained for a
Get out of here,
second.
Pawpaw. Chill out. It's not
Hey,
your
we're
time.
not ready for you.
All right, our next email is from Johnny or Janny Kova. What's up, brothers?
What's up, brothers?
There we go. I couldn't do it. My name is Johnny. I'm 30 years old from Finland, but I live in Sweden now.
Sweden!
Yeah.
I discovered your podcast through the Metallica forum about 4 weeks ago, and an addiction was instantly born. For me, like many others, it really helps me get through Mondays. Thanks for taking time to read and answer mine and the other listeners' mail. It makes us feel like we're a part of the show. I laugh every time you do the Paw Paw voice. Wow, that was serendipitous. So much fun and interesting things in the podcast. Looking forward to many more episodes. They've made me go back and revisit songs and albums, and I love it. Thank you for doing this, Johnny. Man, thank you for the sweet email.
Oh, that's very nice.
Always good to hear from new listeners, especially if they're from Sweden!
Sweden! Paul, you got an email for us?
You going to read this next one, Paul?
Tim Rasmussen.
Ooh.
Fleming's nephew.
Fleming's doppelganger?
Yeah.
This is actually Fleming writing this.
Yeah. Hey, Clint and Ethan. What, no love for Paul?
No love, man. They hate you, dude.
Wow.
You're out.
I think that's enough from Tim, don't you guys? All right.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Hey, Clint and Ethan. Though I think it's supposed to be thought I'd finally write in after listening for a couple of months now to show my appreciation of what you guys are doing in this podcast. I absolutely love it. Listening through all the topics, discussions, and emails has really rekindled my appreciation and love for all things Metallica and has me listening to them again more than I have for many years. As a guitarist, I'm always interested in your take and also Paul Moak's take. There we go. Thank you, Tim.
God, you had to jump the gun, didn't you?
On things, and of course, Torben and Dave's insights are always welcome too. It's so cool to hear two pro musicians with such enthusiasm for the band, and you never cease to amaze me with the endless number of topics to cover and the conversations that fill the show every week with no trouble at all. Keep up the great work, and hopefully you'll have the band on the show next year, and maybe another Rasmussen called Flaming, too.
Flaming
Nice.
Rasmussen.
Dude, this dude loves you guys.
Man, thanks,
He loves
Tim.
you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to go and jump the gun and be like, she doesn't like me.
Sorry, Tim. I didn't mean to doubt
Well, Tim,
you.
I think you're right. And actually, please welcome James Hetfield.
Yeah.
This brings up a good topic. Do you think Lars started his beach show because he knew
Yep.
this podcast existed?
100%. 100%.
I actually had that thought when I saw that they announced that he was doing It's Electric.
That's the first thing I thought.
I was like, I wonder if someone in the Metallica universe saw what we were doing, and maybe Tom Quee as well, and saw these things popping up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing before.
Totally.
And was like, hey, all right, which one of you four want to do some kind of radio show / podcast?
All I've got to say is if that is true, Lars, you're fucking going down, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're going down, dude.
I'd like to see some numbers.
And also, when they asked all four who wants to do a podcast, you can automatically know what the other three would say.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like, no
Nope.
way.
Come on, Kirk.
I could see
Yeah.
Kirk. I could see Kirk doing like a horror podcast or something.
But not a Metallica
But Kirk
podcast.
is so private.
Well,
James
I mean-
is so private.
Yeah, Lars isn't.
James is probably like, what's a podcast?
He lives in Vail, Colorado, and he literally eats bears. That's the only way he lives. He just eats hibernating
I think he
bears.
knows what he's been on podcasts.
Yeah, he's been on them.
He's on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's on the Nerdist podcast.
That's true. I was
Yeah.
mostly joking.
Yeah. Way to get serious, man.
God
Jeez.
damn.
All right, thank you, Tim, for writing in.
Thanks, Tim.
Our next email is from another longtime listener, Gene Froman.
What up, Gene?
Gene. Gents, just want to say I appreciate the little rant on the video / phone usage during concerts. I always know when I had a good concert experience when I realized that I actually have too many pics or video on my phone.
No, she's saying
Don't have
she
too
doesn't
many
have
things.
any.
Oh,
She knows it's a good
read that
concert
wrong.
when she doesn't have any.
Oh, when I don't actually have too many videos or pics. My bad. Yeah, I agree. I've done that too, where
Yeah.
I've maybe taken one or two pictures and I just enjoy the rest of the show. And
It's like people have forgotten that memories live inside your fucking brain.
Yeah, the memories remain.
there you go,
Dude,
Paul.
that's why he's here. That is why he is fucking here.
That's why he makes great records. He just, jeez, so much wisdom floating around this room right now.
God damn it. We are lucky.
Wow.
We are lucky.
I think Paul should just finish this whole thing.
Go for it, Paul.
So she goes on to say...
No, I meant like the whole episode. Yeah, it's all you. Gene does go on to say, frankly, more upsetting than video recording is when I see folks FaceTiming their friends or family during the concert and shoving their phone in the band's face. It's extremely disruptive to those around you. Case in point, I rode the rail at the Webster Hall show, and dude near me spent the entire concert FaceTiming someone. I tried to ignore it, but it was hard to, and I found it distracting. That is pretty messed up.
So she was at this Webster Hall show, which is now out on vinyl. It's a great show. I've got it on vinyl.
Yeah, it's awesome.
She was on the fucking rail, and her little avatar for Twitter is like James reaching out to her and touching
Yeah.
her hand.
Oh, wow.
Some dude was right next to her, FaceTiming the whole fucking
Yeah.
show.
I think
Who's on the other end of that?
some lucky person, but still.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, do you want to watch a blown out?
Not really.
You know?
Not really.
I mean,
no, you're right.
I probably still would.
I mean, I would do it.
Of course you would. Yeah, if I FaceTime you during something,
But it wouldn't be great. It's no placeholder for fucking being there.
You know what? I thought about this after we ranted last week.
Mm-hmm. And I rant.
I ran. That's a stretch, dude. I thought about this though. The concept of being like offended by someone else's actions at a concert goes way back before, iPhone recordings.
Yeah, a drunk guy throwing up on your shoe. Yeah.
There's always going to be people that are there for other reasons than you, and you're taking it more seriously than them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, we got to make room for that, right? Like, that's okay.
How people, I think we've talked about this before, but like people's depth of involvement in a band, it's okay for the people that are just there, like at the stadium shows this year, that are just there because it's Metallica in a stadium and they know like 2 songs.
Right.
You guys remember the dude that high-fived me when we were in Detroit? He was in front of me and he would just put his hand up with the palm pacing me. And that just meant for me to high-five.
You were getting a little annoyed after a while by that guy.
Well, he did it like 10 times.
Yeah.
What about the woman that insulted Ethan and then immediately hit on him?
Oh yeah. She asked me about my battle jacket, and she's like, "I thought that you had to go to every show to have a patch in your jacket." And I was like, "Well, I've seen most of these bands, but sorry, geez."
She was like, "That's stupid."
And then she goes, "You're hot," like that quick. And I was like, "Okay, see you later."
Yeah, and then 30 minutes later, her friends were like carrying her out of the.
Oh yeah, she doesn't remember that night at all, for sure. Anyways, the end of Jean's emails, she says, anyhow, I know there are companies like Yonder who try to facilitate phone-free concerts and such. Time will tell where all this goes and what technologies artists like Metallica are willing to embrace versus tolerate. Have a great Thanksgiving, Gene.
All right, thanks, Gene.
Thank you, Gene.
We won't. We could talk about that for a long time, but maybe our thoughts are known.
Yeah,
our thoughts are known, and it'll come up again. I mean, this is something we all in this new time are just perpetually dealing with. And
right.
Here's the most positive thing I'll say about it. Let's all find a way. Let's find a new way. All right. I don't want to write all the rules about how people enjoy concerts. Paul doesn't. Ethan doesn't. But we want to try to maximize the experience. We all want that. Yep. So let's all just work together and find a way.
At the very least, at least think of it this way. You go to a concert, if some dude is over there on his phone the whole time, FaceTiming or whatever, filming the whole show, the one thing you have going for you is that you're leaving that concert with way more actual memories than him.
Yeah.
Like someone's gonna be like, "How was the show?" Like, "It was cool. Look at the photos I took." It's like,
look at my terrible blurry shitty
tell me about like the experience and stuff. Like, I don't know. I was looking through my fucking screen the whole time.
Well, here's my one takeaway, and I'll make it real short. Is I love that we're preaching the gospel of put your phone down when you're at the concert, but you and I were so mad at Clint when he wouldn't send us videos from the rail.
Oh, from the snake pit?
Yeah, we were like, dude, don't leave us hanging.
And you guys were mad at me when I was at the Philly show.
Yeah.
I tried, but hey, you know what? The thing is, self-service is so bad.
So we're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah, we're hypocrites.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, see, here's the thing. We're doing it for research and work. This is a job to us.
We're getting our metal PhD here.
Exactly.
We're trying to, man, thanks for bringing that on home, Paul. Now I feel great. You're right, though. Well, let's find a way. All right. Our last email is from a new listener, and I kind of dug her email out. We've gotten some more since then. This lady named Stephanie Zink. She writes, "Hello, my name's Stephanie. I'm on the Metallica message boards as Stephanie in Tech. I just started listening to your podcast last week, and I'm currently on episode 10, and I know I'm way behind. I'm really glad I started listening to the show. You're both very good at what you do and are very knowledgeable about Metallica. I very much appreciate that. This will more than fill up the current downtime before the tour starts up again." Which I thought that, like, I'm glad that we can be a part of the Metallica machine while they're off for the holidays. We can sort of maybe fill a void.
We're like a bridge.
We're like a bridge over troubled water, dude.
We're a bridge over metal water.
A bridge to nowhere.
Oh, goddamn. All right. You guys, okay. She says, "I'm a 90s kid." Hello, ding, 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 me. So, and Paul. Andy, where are we? Yeah. You're a little...
He's a SoCal 90s kid, so why didn't you hear that band?
Rhino Bucket, dude.
I don't know. I was too busy listening to Nirvana and Soundgarden.
She says, "I'm a 90s kid, so I was at the height of the load reload which this will come into play a little bit in a
Very
minute
soon.
here. I was at the height of Load and Reload when I kind of started listening to Metallica, but they never really had my full attention. The very first thing I ever saw that really caught my attention was the Motherload contest on MTV.
Dude, that was so good.
Huge for me.
Yeah.
Well,
it was awesome.
I truncated her email, but she goes on to say that she like taped it on a VHS, which I did too, and just watched it over and over.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah. That's what you did.
She says, I could not believe how cool they were to do this for their fans. My 9th grade year, my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, and our song was The Unforgiven 2, which is a song about killing a chick, by the way. Lay beside me. I just imagine them like slow dancing to that at prom. Unforgiven 2. She says The Unforgiven 2 was in pretty regular rotation on MTV. She wrote a lot of other really cool stuff. She did the Hardwired experience. She sent us a bunch of pictures of her meeting the band.
Wow.
This chick is in real deep. Her Instagram account is basically like 80 pictures in a row of her wearing a different Metallica shirt.
Awesome.
She is as hardcore and diehard as it gets, and it's such a compliment to me that she likes our show.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much.
So she sent us her top 10, and we did our top 10s a long time ago. If you guys want to go check that episode out, we read a lot of them, but I wanted to include this one because it's got some interesting left turns in it. Number 10, Phantom Lord. Number 9, Holier Than Thou. Number 8, One. Number 7, To Live Is To Die. Number 6, Hero of the Day. Like she's all over the place, right? She's,
Yeah.
Number 5, Wherever May Roam. Number 4, Disposable Heroes. Number 3, Master of Puppets. Number 2, Blackened, which was my number 2. Number 1, Trapped Under Ice. She
Wow.
says the rest may change. This one's permanent.
Wow, she's committed to that song.
Which that's our first and so far only Trapped Under Ice is number 1.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's a Ride the Lightning deep cut.
It is a deep cut. I mean, obviously I love that song. It's an amazing song. But like, wow, number 1.
Number 1. And she says it will not change. Can't see it all. All right. She answered me by saying, the Torben Ulrich impersonation is hilarious, and I've laughed out loud several times in the car driving down the highway. Keep making the podcast. I will continue to listen to them. Thanks for your time and attention, Stephanie.
Awesome.
Oh,
Man.
Sweet Stephanie. It's so nice to hear from you and read your words.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the emails.
All right, so before we dive right back into Hardwired, there's a little beef happening.
Some news.
Do you guys mind if I
it's-
drive the ship and
Please drive the ship. Cause
I feel like the MTV, like,
the Kurt Loder? So here's what happened this week. So Metallica did a very cool, very classy, in-depth interview with Clash, which I think it's clashonline.com. Now, in this interview, which they do separate interviews with every band member, and it's very involved. It's a really nice interview. I really recommend reading it, where they talk about Metallica's relevance, their longevity, why they've stuck around, what compromises had to be made, why Hardwired is so special, why it's resonating. It's a very in-depth interview. Now, there's a very small passage of this interview where James Hetfield makes some remarks about the Load and Reload era that then became clickbait bullshit for the Metal Hammers, the Loud Wires, the Blabbermouths, okay?
it's true. you looked at me for some kind of confirmation.
Now, so let me just give you the facts of what happened this week, and then I have a case to make about what was said. Okay. And you guys know I'm a Load Reload guy, so this involves me personally. I feel personal about this.
Oh yeah, this is going straight to your heart.
So in the Clash interview, which was published on November 22nd, this is very recent, this week, James made passing remarks about compromise within the band and sort of lightly invoked the Load Reload era. It was one question, by the way, in a full
One question.
Now, the clickbait articles, the headlines were, James Hetfield says he wasn't 100% into Metallica's Load and Reload era. That's the clickbait thing, right? So
yeah, that's going to get your attention right away. I saw it and I was
did.
like,
Yep.
whoa.
I texted you about it.
We texted about it privately. A bunch of fans tweeted at us. Most of them sort of understanding that it was not properly contextualized. But
Right.
some of our listeners who are down on the Load Reload era sort of saw it as lazy confirmation of their already preconceived notions about the demerits of that era, which I reject outright. So here's what James actually said. The question was something about, did you guys have to make compromises along the way to stay relevant or mainstream? And I thought James' responses were actually really great.
Yeah.
But here's what kind of was the clickbait. He says, he sort of says something like, of course, in any band, when you have 4 individuals, you have to make compromises along the way. And he says, there was probably a time in the load reload era, he says, the way that was looking, I wasn't 100% on with it, but I would say that was a compromise. He says the records didn't pan out, or that time, the era didn't pan out as good as he had hoped, but he had no regrets because at the time it felt like the right thing to do. And when he was asked about, like, did the compromises help you fit in the mainstream, he actually said what I thought was really telling. He said, we created our own mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I totally agree with. Because the shorthand is, oh, they were just making MTV Rock. They were making videos for MTV, which they were, but they did create their own mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't making Blink-182 records or No Doubt records or Chumbawamba records.
Chumbawamba.
Well, whatever was hot in the mid '90s, like they still sounded like Metallica.
Yeah, they did. Of course, it was a shock. People were already shocked from the Black Album, but then they went into Load and Reload, and it was even a bigger departure from what they used to do. So yeah, it was.
And it was musically and visually. My contention, my argument here is that what James is talking about is specifically the image of the band.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not talking about the music.
Yep.
He wrote the fucking music.
Well,
exactly.
And the question was, did you guys have to compromise?
Right.
And what he was answering was personally like, I had to compromise our image with 2 other members of the band.
Right.
Not comparing, did we ever have to compromise as a band with all of popular culture?
And what he's talking about is when the artist, the Andre Serrano guy,
right,
who was a guy that Lars and Kirk, who were in the art world, were very hip to. And James actually, I think, described him as like a sick motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
Like, James wasn't into his art.
He talked about that a little bit on the Load Reload.
Right, his whole piss Christ thing and his blood and semen. There was like footage of Kirk and Lars kissing at the time, doing this sort of transphobic, homoerotic shit.
Yeah.
The guy liner, the feather boas, none of that James did. I think he was just saying the image of the band. He sort of famously said it was U2 Metallica, but he's not talking about the fucking music. The music stands up and holds its own. And in fact, when James was once asked, and it was at the time of Reload, what are your favorite Metallica songs? His answer was The Thing That Should Not Be, Carpe Diem Baby, Fixer, Fight Fire with Fire, and The Unforgiven 2.
Do you guys have favorite songs of your own?
Overall, Thing That Should Not Be. I love Carpe Diem Baby. I love Fixer. Fight Fire with Fire. They've always just the different moods. I love Unforgiven 2 as well.
Not to mention the fact, guess what lyrics he has tattooed on his body? Lyrics to Carpe Diem Baby and Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah. No, it's James is the primary songwriter in this band.
Right.
I mean, he basically writes all the songs, and then obviously him and Lars have that thing, they team up and the arrangements and all that stuff. I can't imagine someone like James, like, if anything, if was ever a moment in their history where he compromised his songwriting stuff, it was probably during Saint Anger.
I totally agree with that.
Because they shared it.
Because they shared it. Because he opened it up to the band.
Yeah, he felt uncomfortable with it. You could see it in the documentary, and we talk about this before.
Yeah. But if you're going to talk compromises, that's a way more noble compromise, where the compromise wasn't, let's have Desmond Child come in and write our songs like Aerosmith did.
Well, and that's what I feel like the interviewer was asking was, have you guys had to make compromises to stay relevant? Like as a band, did Metallica ever be like, oh God, we should work with so-and-so because they're hot right now?
Right.
They've never done that,
No, they haven't. They've written all their own songs.
The only time they've ever worked with someone because they're hot right now is Phil.
Exactly.
Because he was hot on failing at keeping Rage Against the Machine together.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
They got Bob because he was doing some good stuff they liked. They got Bob because of his On the Heels of Motley Crue.
Yeah.
They got Rick Rubin because they liked what Rick had done with Slipknot.
But I don't think it was related
Slayer.
to success, though, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
It was all, to me, about making the best record that they could.
I totally agree.
The root of it was still about the music. They wanted Bob Rock because they felt that he could help make a record that sounded better than anything they've done.
Well, I thought it was because Lars loved the drums on Motley Crue records.
Right.
Like, loved the sound of the drums.
I mean, they sound huge, yeah.
It was
to me,
more,
that's totally worth hiring
It was more about them.
for.
It was more about them respecting the work than chasing trends.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they said like, oh, Bob's had 6 number ones, so let's work with him.
Yeah.
You know.
And
It's
James
unfortunate the Black Album didn't really do anything. you
Right.
know.
yeah, it was kind of a failure, right?
Yeah.
But James is right. Like they made their own mainstream.
Totally.
And you know, they to me they've always sounded like themselves. And when I say themselves, I don't mean like fucking kill 'em all, but they've sounded. You can trace a thread. I mean, dude, they were, to me, it's such a tired argument because they were accused of this shit the second you heard acoustic guitars on Ride the Lightning
Yeah.
for Fight Fire with Fire, the second you heard a fucking ballad. You know, it's just like, it's just old to me.
Well, the best thing is, I mean, you know, Lars has said this a bunch where it's like, you know, the way Metallica has gone is because that's where we wanted to go. Like we've like you said, they've never like brought in other writers, other influence, everything that has come out that Metallica has put out, or their image or whatever. It's all because they want to do it. Now James is obviously hesitant with this era stuff with image, but
could you imagine Desmond Child and James in the same room?
They probably would have written something cool. I mean, I'm a fan of Desmond Child.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened, you know?
Right.
And it's sort of like, they're sort of being kind of tacitly accused of that.
yeah.
James actually said to that, to your point, he said them getting sort of labeled as a metal band, one of the sort of ideals of a metal band or a metal punk band is sort of fuck the world or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, like we didn't mind that. The fuck the world, we're doing things our own way. But he said that's fine until you don't do it their way.
Right, exactly.
Cutting your hair, not wearing leather, writing a ballad, etc. You can trace that thread through their whole career. Whatever the way
Right.
of their diehards or whatever. It's just like,
Don't you think that's part and parcel though with being a worldwide?
yeah, it comes with it.
Band.
The more fans you have, the more criticism is going to get leveled at you. The more broad you make yourself.
Yeah, the bigger the magnifying glass gets.
Yeah, and the whole idea of like I knew them before they were big.
Right.
That's
There's
universal.
There are some people that never wanted them to leave San Francisco. You know what I mean? They never wanted them to leave Battery Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just always that. It's like with the Beatles. There's people that never wanted the Beatles to leave the fucking cavern.
Right.
And when the Beatles left the cavern, they sold out.
They sold out, yeah.
Or the Star Club in Germany, whatever it was.
I mean, there's a million stories of so many bands like that. I mean, a good example is, speaking of Bay Area bands, if you've ever watched the Green Day Behind the Music,
Yeah.
there's a whole section on them signing to a major label.
Right.
And how much shit they
Oh,
got.
dude,
They got
everybody hated them.
Everyone hated them in the Bay Area. They got banned from playing places like
But guess who never heard of them until after that? Me.
Paul Moak.
Because I wasn't in the Bay Area. I
Yeah,
was
but
in
it's the same kind of
Mississippi.
thing. It's like, the bigger your band gets, the bigger the magnifying glass gets, and everyone wants to pick out what's wrong with you and what you should have done, what you shouldn't have done. It's annoying.
Well, it's inevitable, right? Like, I think that's true. What bothers me about this week and this news and this clickbait shit is that fans who are being curmudgeon-y about it saw this as some sort of opportunity to legitimize their feelings. So they thought,
I told you.
James agrees. And I'm just here to say, I think we've sort of fleshed it out. No.
You flushed it out? You flushed it out.
Flushed it out.
The Memory Remains and Fuel are staples, like it or not.
Yeah.
Low Man's Lyric was played over 100 times live. It's a song James obviously really liked.
I mean, I would say that Fuel is a highlight, not just a staple. Like with
I think
the pyro
Fuel's
and everything.
I think it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great live. I mean, there's some people where it's like, I just wonder if you guys are really fans of Metallica.
Yeah.
I don't think being a fan means you have to love everything they do. If you've heard our Saint Anger episode, you know that we're willing
Right.
to kind of walk the line there and be critical about what we don't like. But,
Sure.
you know,
Well, but that's the thing. You're being critical about what you don't like, but you're still willing to try to go there and look at it from the band's
find what's good
perspective.
about it.
Yeah.
because we're fans of the fucking band.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think the people that like got excited about that headline are the people that are looking for validation in these feelings they've had about these two records for 20 plus
And it
years.
Reload
ties in,
sucks.
and it ties into exactly, and it ties into what we thought about, like people who felt betrayed.
Right? Yeah.
If you're feeling betrayed, it's just I can't get on board with that feeling. I didn't feel betrayed by Saint Anger. I didn't dig it. I didn't understand what was going on. I got off the ride. I never felt fucking betrayed.
I never felt betrayed. I mean, I was like bummed. I'm like, oh, I don't like this record, and I didn't listen to it for like 10 years. But guess what? I have all these other great records they put out.
Well, I'll end this segment before we start talking about Hardwired, quoting Lars from this article, which I can't recommend it enough. It's Clash. Look up Metallica Clash interview. Lars says, there's always been a dichotomy about us leading the cavalry, but at the same time, not leading it the way that a portion of our fans want us to lead it. And he says, you've got to get out there and live. And talking of the band's creative curiosity, he says, "If you don't live, you suffocate. Our time is way too short to have that much willful limitation on our own options." And is that not what we fucking love about these guys?
Exactly,
Even
yeah.
when it bites our ass, whether it's Lulu or Saint Anger,
Yeah.
it's kind of what keeps us. It's what makes them one of the greatest metal bands of all time.
Yeah. I mean, how many bands can put out a record like a Saint Anger that, in general, people just despise? It sounds bad. The lyrics suck. This and that, and still come out and put out their next record, which sonically doesn't even sound that great, but there's a lot of good songs on there, and they're still the biggest band in the world.
Right.
Like they're still the biggest metal band ever. Like there's a lot of bands out there that will make a great record and they'll make a shit record and they're just forgotten.
Yeah.
Right.
If anything, when Metallica has made those little, I'm gonna call them mistakes, but like when they've done the Lulu or the Saint Anger or whatever, if anything, all it has made me do in the past is go, I can't wait for what's next.
Well, they're true artists. They're searchers. They're explorers, and their message to us is, "Come get on the ride."
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's going to be twists and turns and bumps and all.
And
on
you
the
know
way.
what that is, man? I feel like that's Lars. Lars is like, I feel like James, as you said, he's the engine of the train, right? But I feel like Lars is the one that keeps on saying, like, we have more in us. Let's go back in.
Yeah, I
do
agree.
another one.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, man. I mean, just after watching the making of Hardwired, I just don't know a band that successful that is putting in that much time right now. I have so much respect for them.
I do
Like
too.
I would challenge like a guy like Paul McCartney to dig in that hard.
Yeah.
I feel like he could make a record that would blow my mind.
Yeah.
you know?
I agree.
I mentioned it earlier, but speaking of Green Day, there's a documentary on not their current record, but their last record. They put out 3 records.
The Uno Dos Tres.
Uno Dos Tres,
Yeah.
and there's a short documentary called Quattro.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Quattro,
and it's very similar to when you watch the Hardwired making of. It's them just like putting in the hours and stuff like that. It's a Bay Area, something in the Bay Area water, I guess.
Wait, so these guys put in that kind of hours and then end up selling out stadiums. I wonder what the connection is.
Yeah, it's almost like hard work really pays off.
Yeah.
You think?
Speaking of that, you guys, let's dive into Hardwired. I'm
Yeah,
really
I think
excited.
it's time. We this is like maybe one of the longest times we've gotten into the actual subject of the episode.
I'd rather just talk about Reload.
But yeah,
God knows I could.
we can just
Actually-
change the episode title.
Let's talk about Hardwired. I think one thing that this brings up that might even be worth its own episode in the future is like the relationship of Metallica to its fans,
Right.
and the ownership that some fans feel like they have over the course of Metallica, and that whole dynamic of, you know, being in love with something, but then like, you know, loving it too much and crushing it. I think James has even used that with, you know, with Jason or whatever.
Right.
But
all within my
like
hands.
that dynamic is really fascinating to me.
Yeah, in this Clash article that we just referenced, Rob talks about that, where he talks about, he's like, man, Metallica fans they'll 1 minute love what you're doing, and then 1 minute they're so brutal.
Yeah.
And you know, in my more kind moments about that, it's because they love it so much.
Yeah.
So I understand it, you know, if like
Yeah.
the betrayal crap, if I'm being as generous to that bullshit as I can, I understand that what it is they love it so much.
Sure.
That's where the feeling of betrayal comes from. I would
course,
recommend maybe chilling out a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Because what you really should love, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, but what I think what you should love is the fact that these 4 dudes are artists, and they're going to take you on a journey, and you might not like some parts of the ride.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, there's plenty of bands that I absolutely love, and they've put out some bullshit music.
Dude, I mean,
And I
one
still
of
love 'em.
my favorite bands is Kiss. Kiss has had a tumultuous career.
They've put out
Name a
quite-
band that you love 100% of their catalog.
100% of the catalog.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know
You
if I
probably
could.
assume I would say the Clash, but they put out a record called "Cut the Crap," and it's awful.
Really?
It was their last record. Yeah. Where
I don't
love
know a
100%
band
of their
that I
catalog.
I mean, my top bands are Radiohead. They've definitely put out something I don't like. Pearl Jam's put out the Avocado record I didn't like.
Tom Petty.
I
he
didn't
put
like
out
The
a
Last DJ.
Really?
Really? I love that.
I like Have Love Will Travel, and
Yeah.
I like there's like 2 songs on that record I
Yeah.
like.
Bob Marley, easy.
100%.
Oh yeah, every you can put on any Bob Marley record.
But he died before his time. I could say the same about Nirvana.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's true.
Bob Marley put out I mean, he put out like
Yeah, but name a band that's had a
fucking
40-year career, though. You're just bound. Even John Lennon had shit I didn't like.
Right.
Yeah.
McCartney had shit. I mean, the Beatles catalog,
Perfect.
perfecto.
Yeah.
But that was a 10-year carear.
Yep.
That was 62 through 70.
Yeah.
That was less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Actually, the math would dictate that that's 8.
Hey, this isn't a mathematician podcast.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can we talk
Let's move on. Hardwired.
All right, please talk Hardwired.
Let me just to get this. We're going to do a track by track here in a second. To just contextualize this, let me just burn through some quick facts. We've already done an episode on this. By the way, our first remote episode was Hardwired.
It was. I was in
Wow.
Detroit. You were in Miami.
I was in Miami.
Yeah.
Wow, what was I doing? Good God.
You were clubbing.
I hope I never.
Was that the toilet bowl?
No, that was when I was in Philadelphia or something. When we did the No Life to Leather episode,
Oh, that's right.
where my microphone was all fucked up.
Yeah.
No one go listen to that episode ever. The No Life to Leather cassette.
Were you in the back of the bus and it was just like,
No, I was in a hotel room, but my mic wasn't working, so it was my computer mic.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just drinking Four Locos through the. All right, so Hardwired, 10th studio by Metallica, recorded May 2015 through August 2016, released on November 18th, 2017. Or 2016, excuse me, a year ago today. A year ago sometime soon when you'll be hearing this, I don't know.
yeah, it came out November 18th.
Produced by Greg and James and Lars, which after watching the making of this morning,
It definitely is.
definitely produced by the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
And the engineers, which we talked about last week, we didn't get to name them. Mike Gillies, who is the guy I called the tuning room guy who I saw in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm walking to the bathroom and he's walking right by me. I was like, hey, tuning room guy.
He was like, yeah, thanks.
He was,
You probably made his day, dude.
he was okay about it. I actually patted him on the back and then immediately regretted it. Like he might have personal space that I'm not honoring because I said, man, good luck.
It's too late. Walk away.
And then the other engineer, Sarah Lynn Killian.
Yeah, I watched
Who
the
we-
interview with her. She's amazing.
Oh, I didn't see. What was it?
It was during that.
About Hardwired?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what I watched. I watched it like 15 YouTube clips in a row. But she's basically like, they were like, what's your duty in the studio? And she walked them through the whole thing.
I mean,
impressive.
if she's like an engineering assistant or second engineer on a record that big, we're probably going to be hearing from her in the next 5-10 years.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a big record to springboard her career.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll even have her on the goddamn show.
Are you listening?
Cover design by Turner Duckworth.
Turner Duckworth.
Well,
I had a
hello.
great time making the cover for Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
I was having some tea and
Projected images of the guys on the guys. That's how I got that image that you see on the cover.
and lastly, once again, I'm Turner Duckworth.
And I'm worth dozens.
The singles are Hardwired, Moth, Atlas, Now That We're Dead, and this month they released Spit Out the Bone as a single.
Yeah, they did a radio edit
A
of it.
truncated 5.5-minute version.
You listen to it?
It's all right.
It's weird. I'll say
weird.
it's weird. There's nothing. I don't hate it,
I don't hate it.
but
I say give me the full-on Spit Out
it's
the
been
Bone.
a year since
Yeah.
Hardware came out, so you're so used to hearing, and that's obviously like a highlight track on this record. So it's weird a year later.
You know what? I don't think they thought it would be. I think if I can sort of trace a thread from a year ago, it was Album Ender, sort of the thrash along the lines of Damage Inc. and My
Yeah.
Apocalypse, etc. And I think it started to take on sort of a cult thing, and then it became this big. It just became a big monster.
Yeah.
It really did.
And it blossomed into like, when are they going to debut it? When are they going to debut it? And then I think they thought, fuck, we should probably trim it down and make it a single.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever thought of it being a single.
But is trimming it down really 5.5 minutes?
Well, if we're on Bohemian Rhapsody standards,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in today's world, trimming it down
it
would
needs to be
like
30 fucking
seconds.
seconds. People can hardly get through a song anymore, man.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
It's
this is
fucked
such
up.
a tangent, but I'll keep it short. The other day, I was like, dude, this song is so awesome. You got to listen to this, to a friend of mine. And we got like 3 minutes in, and I was feeling guilty that I was making him listen.
Yeah, you felt self-conscious and bad about it.
Yeah.
It's 3 fucking minutes, and songs are our life.
I don't give a shit. Listen to my damn song.
I agree.
Yeah.
I recently watched High Fidelity. You guys seen that in a while?
Yeah.
Oh,
1995,
no,
John
wow.
Cusack.
Great movie.
Based on the Nick
It's the
Hornby
first time I
novel.
saw Jack Black.
Yeah, it's one of his first big roles.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where Dick, the sort of nerdy, Moby-looking
Yeah.
bald
Yeah.
guy, is talking to this chick about Green Day.
It's the It's the girl who was on Roseanne.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's like, the thing is, if you like Green Day, you're really going to love this band called the Stiff Little Fingers.
Yeah.
And he just, without shame, just plays it for her, and they just sort of sit there and listen to it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a great
And they
moment.
show it in the movie.
Yeah.
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 It-
Yeah,
That's
it's awesome.
because it was a different time. Dude.
I watched it, and over Thanksgiving, my parents have like a little kind of tiny little boutique movie theater in their house, and I watched it and almost started crying because I was like,
It's a good moment.
they're just listening to a song together quietly, and no one's looking at their fucking phone.
I'm about to sell 5 copies of the Beta Band 3 EPs.
The 3 piece by the Beta Band. I bought that record because of that movie.
Yeah.
The dude's going, "What is this?" He's like, "Beta Band." Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I will now sell 5 copies of the 3 EPs by the Beta Band. Do it.
Who is that? The Beta Band. It's good. I know.
The album debuted at number 1, topped the charts in 57 countries, 6 consecutive.
Only 57?
The 6th consecutive album to debut at number 1. That record is tied only with a little band called the Dave Matthews Band.
Wow.
Every day.
I'm a pretty big Dave Matthews fan.
Is radio in more than 57 countries? Like, that sounds like pretty
Like
much
the
the
radio?
whole world to me. Like, could you just say that it went number 1 in the whole world?
I think there are more than 57 countries in the world. But do they all have radio? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, is radio... But I think it's album sales.
Right.
Or is it radio?
No,
I actually
no,
don't
it's
know.
No,
album sales.
if it's number 1,
Yeah.
it's album sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know. It's sold over 3 million in the last year, which is a pretty big deal in their current terrible climate.
Wait, 3 million? Oh, worldwide.
Worldwide, 3 million.
Yeah.
In, the last
US,
year.
it's over a million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pretty
It's
good.
awesome.
Now, are we ready to just do a track by track? Should we go track
Yeah,
by
let's do
track?
track by track. Track by track.
Hardwired. What do you guys think? By the way, are you guys prepared to give a 1 out of 10 rating for all these songs? Because I did.
I can spitball that.
Glad that we texted each other all day about
I
what we were
texted
going to do.
you some things I needed from you.
Yeah, but you never said, by the way.
You can. I trust you.
No, but Paul, we've done this before on previous episodes.
And he
where-
spitballed it. And he
All
was
right,
fine.
let's do it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
No, I have some thoughts about the song, but I want to hear what you guys think first. What do you guys think about Hardwired?
I think it's a perfect Metallica album opener.
Okay.
I think the is so cool. Builds that anticipation for when it finally comes in. You know, obviously, as we've seen them live, it makes for a great live moment.
Great. It's a great starter.
Yeah, it's a great starter. I remember when I first heard the song, I wasn't too sure if I liked the chorus. It's that we're so fucked, we're shit out of luck.
It is weird to hear sort of a new Hetfield be that vulgar. I don't think
Yeah.
we've not seen that in a minute.
It's been a while. That chorus has really grown on me. Even listening to it today, I listened to the album twice today. I fucking love the chorus. It's just pissed
It
off.
went over
and-
really well live.
Oh yeah, very well, very well. And now seeing them live twice now this year, and hearing these songs for the first time in a live atmosphere, I think that has even helped my love of the songs change.
Yeah, sometimes
know?
sometimes you may not be quite on board with a song, and then you see kind of the power of it live, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sort of turns
Exactly,
the
yeah.
corner a little bit. What do you think about Hardwired?
I think, man, I know it hasn't aged as well with you as it has with me, but like from the moment I heard it, I was in.
yeah.
And I think that to me, if I was a 13-year-old kid, like hearing
Right.
that, the language would get me because it'd be like, yeah, man, you know.
Cussing's cool.
Yeah,
I used to feel
totally.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and the message is like, it's so like punk rock and just
you know
to
what's
me-
funny? It's funny you say that. That's how James described it as punk rock.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So to me, I mean, to me, I feel the same way today that I did the first time I heard it when you texted me the video.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not something that is like super deep or anything, but I love it, man.
I think that song is also a great statement to like any old school fan that maybe checked out after the Black Album or Load Reload.
Like, there's still power here.
Where all of a sudden it's like, oh, we can still do this shit.
Well, it is a thrash song, you know.
Oh, it
Yeah,
totally
and
is,
the thrashiness of the Hardwired to self-destruct. Bum, 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 go.
Oh,
It's like
great, yeah.
so when he goes go.
Yeah, it's a great
It's just
moment.
like I just imagine the pit out front,
Yeah.
and like him saying go, and people just going ape,
Oh yeah.
and it's so cool.
So James also did sort of a lyric so what interview about sort of the lyrics and talks about the songs a
Yeah,
bit. And he said this was the last song they wrote for the record. And so they had decided that Lords of Summer should not be on the record, which we're going to get to that later for
Yeah.
me. I think Lords of Summer is fucking awesome.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah.
And so they wrote it last, and James talked about being like they thought they'd had the record, they worked on it for a year, he was pretty worn out, and then they sort of had to write this song, and the mission statement was like, let's write an opening thrasher. That was like your boy Lars
Yeah.
kind of driving it, saying we need to do this, we need to achieve this. And he said when they first wrote it, it was 2 minutes long. He said there was a 2 in front of it,
Wow.
which they hadn't done in
Forever.
never.
Yeah. Other than maybe like a Misfits cover or something.
Or maybe Anesthesia. How long is Anesthesia? 3?
It's probably longer than 2 minutes. Yeah.
But he said it was like Misfits and Ramones.
Yeah.
And then they sort of started building it. It turned into what has become Hardwired. And for that, I really do appreciate it. It's just Hardwired is tough for me because it's my second least favorite song, but I love it. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I would give this an 8 out of 10.
8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8. I mean, that to me is as hooky as any Metallica riff.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good Kirk solo too.
Yeah, this is to me on the first Hardwired episode we did last January. We were fairly critical of Kirk's leads on this record because we weren't that stoked on him. I guess
I've come around a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
And
Really?
Yeah, I really have.
Not on
kind of in the
not on
same boat.
Not on
Really?
everything, but there is stuff in there now that I listen to. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Well,
Can you sing it though?
No,
I
nope.
can sing.
I
Black
can't.
Album solos.
I can't sing any of the solos. My big takeaway, I wanted to reveal this a little later, but I'll just do it now, is that they don't bother me any longer. I don't know if it's because I accept the record. I love the record so much, and I accept it on its terms.
Yeah.
That my critique for almost every solo is, I think it could have been better, but it no longer bothers me. Which isn't
Well,
a great position
Yeah.
on solos.
Like it's easy to ignore now.
I don't even ignore it.
watching-
I'm into it. But
even watching Hardwired, like the interaction between, like on the making of the Black Album, Bob challenging
yep.
Kirk, like
It's different.
All right, let's see that guitar player of the year,
Yeah, it's
and
different.
then Lars kind of being. I feel like in the scene that they show in the making of Hardwired, Lars is kind of the point person,
It's
and Greg's kind of sitting back.
I just watched it today. It's every song.
There's a
I
few
can't hang
moments.
with that,
It's
man.
Lars producing the solo.
Yeah. There's a few moments where Greg kind of steps in and says a few words, but yeah, you're right. For the most part, it is Lars.
No, I'm with you. I think if I were to say my biggest critique of Greg, and what I hope maybe changes the next time around, because
Yeah.
I think Greg's in for the next record.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That Clash interview, Rob talks about
2030.
it. Exactly. When we're all cryogenically unfrozen
Yeah.
in the 3000s. But
That becomes a thing at one point. It's like if you're a Metallica fan and you want to be around for the next record,
Yeah.
you can pay this amount of money and be frozen.
which is funny because so much of Hardwired is about sort of the dangers of technology.
Yeah.
But I do think that as a criticism of Greg is, and I think who knows what was really going on with why,
Yeah, we
why
don't know
Kirk
how
couldn't
much
be
the
there.
band is letting him,
Because if there were other reasons Kirk couldn't be as involved as previous records, then there might not have been a lot of context for Greg to be hard on him.
That's a
Right,
good
right,
point.
yeah.
It might have been that actually Lars was kind of hand-holding everybody through that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say Lars is pretty good at this. I mean, I think he does a good job at picking through. We're going to get into it as we go through
For not being a
solos.
guitar player, he definitely does a good job.
I think the Hardwired solo, it's very brief, it's thrashy, it's fine. My biggest problem with the solos on the record are they're not pocketed.
Yeah.
And so much of this record is groove,
Yeah.
Yeah.
groove rock. But on a thrasher like this and maybe Spell the Bone, you can kind of get away with what seems to be sort of meandery,
Yeah.
all improv crap. Whereas I think Kirk's best solos, Ride the Lightning, Creeping Death,
Yeah.
Blackened, seem to be more worked out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see it in the making of. I mean, he's in there just improving.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the solo section. Start playing over this stuff, and he starts playing. And they're like, okay, that little part was cool. Let's do something else now. You know, so he's just slowly piecing it together as he's hearing it for.
But I will say, having watched that today, like he's working way harder than I thought he did.
Yeah,
he's really working hard. And Greg has said, like, he's like, man, Kirk can improvise 100 times in a row.
Right.
There'll be something special in all of it.
Yeah,
Right.
And
right.
I saw that today.
Yeah,
because it's like it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
that's a lot of footage. Yeah.
So would you be willing to say that you were wrong before?
I'd be willing to say I underestimated Kirk's passion for Hardwired.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing I'll say about the song, and I want to get your guys' opinion. I wrote, it's a good opener, but will it live in Metallica's set list after this tour cycle? Legitimate question. What do you think? Like, are they going to pull out Hardwired? Like,
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
It was the first single. It's the first song on the record.
And it's short and sweet and punchy.
Exactly. Like, you can throw that in the set anywhere, and like 3 minutes later, it's done.
What do you think, Paul? You think it'll live?
I think and only Metallica will know this, but if it had the live impact that, like some of the songs off the Black Album have had to stay in the set list,
right?
I think they will judge that and say, God, man, this is like such a crowd pleaser. We got to keep this in. And to me, I think the message of the song could totally be that.
Right.
I think you'll have people fists in the air with the horns at the chorus. And so really it's up to the guys whether they feel like they owe it to the fans to play it the way that they feel like they owe it to play Unforgiven. And
it'll be interesting to see it in a set list, not as an opener.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Maybe later in the set or something.
I feel like another good spot for it would be like the first song back for the encore.
Yeah.
You know,
in the thrash set.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
or the thrash slot.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about Atlas Rise.
Oh, I love this song.
I do too.
I think this is a perfect Metallica song. I think it's flawless.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump to my rating. I gave it a 9 out of 10. So you would give it a 10.
I go 10 out of 10. I love this song.
What do you think, Paul?
I'd go 8 out of 10.
8? Okay.
8.
Yeah.
So the working title was New Wave of British Heavy Metal ATM.
Nice.
That was their working title.
Wait, what does ATM stand for?
Anytime Money.
Okay.
Let's keep it PG up here.
I kind of find their working titles humorous. I don't think they were actually like
working title of Hardwired, by the way, was Riff Charge.
Yeah. I don't think they're ever like titles that they considered for the album.
No.
But it is kind of funny.
I think it's they come up with the idea. They need something to log it
it's
in
a
the
utility
computer.
something to remember it by. Like that was that one Riff Charge. You know,
I would
be embarrassed if you had some of my working titles
for sure. But I will say that all these months later, that descending riff, that it's through the never, man. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, that's through the never.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, but it's still fucking awesome. I think this one is so good.
Based on the Greek mythology of Atlas, who was doomed to hold up the sky. Pretty deep. It ties into the band. What makes Metallica different than other metal bands is they're literate. They invoke sort of these themes in ways that are sort of broad and relatable. But singing a song about Atlas, it's kind of deep in a way.
I figured it was about a road atlas, like in your van on tour.
Like you can't see it if you're holding it down, so you sort of hold the atlas up so you can see the roads.
See it better.
Like when we're going to Detroit and you got us lost for like 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh, there's fucking detours and construction.
Dude.
I remember looking out the window and there I saw a fucking Kohl's. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Do we have a whole conversation about what is Kohl's?
I still don't know what they sell. Yeah. They sell dishwashers.
I am excited.
If you know, right in.
I'm excited and ashamed to say that I
What
have
is Kohl's?
purchased.
When did you work for Kohl's?
I purchased an Iron Maiden shirt at Kohl's.
Wow.
It's kind of like a Target, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. This is not about Kohl's. This is about Hardwired.
So if you guys follow us on Instagram, I played the intro and the James's rhythm parts for the solo.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned by learning the song, one of the things I realized about it is how this song is extremely intricate.
Yeah.
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 And it's deceivingly so, and it actually speaks to the strength of the band. It's almost like Sting. I'm a huge Sting fan. I don't know if you guys are, but one thing that Sting is really great at is making really complicated songs sound not complicated.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like
Especially
you-
with time signatures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll sort of count a Sting song and realize this isn't some crazy whacked
Yeah.
out signature.
I love when artists can achieve that. Like Soundgarden does that a lot too.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell was a fucking master of
Yeah.
that.
The bridge of Black Hole Sun.
And Matt Cameron too was a big part of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he's brought a lot of that flavor to Pearl Jam. But
yeah.
I would Black Dog, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I still can't count that song.
Yeah.
so Atlas has these moments that sort of shift in time signatures and drop beats and add beats, and for the guitar players out there, learning some of these songs will help you appreciate them.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, this is one of those songs that like when I first heard it and heard the riffs, I'm like, oh, this is cool. There's a bit of thrashiness to it. It's heavy. I love the riffs, and I went to learn them, and I was like, oh wow, that's a lot different. That's played a lot different than when I initially heard. This one especially, I would say as a guitar player, is one of the most fun songs to play on this record.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's a juggernaut. I mean, it was like, it felt athletic to try to get it's like 7 minutes long, and getting from the front to back without messing up felt like you could memorize a lot and nail a lot of shit. And the solo, you can see it in the making of the documentary. It was the 78th pass.
78th.
Wow.
That's where most of the solo came from, which I think it's probably one of the best landed solos.
Yeah.
The problem with most of the solos is the pocket. It's the shit that pokes out of pockets.
Yeah.
This is probably the best. It's not my favorite, but it's the best landed solo.
Yeah, I think so.
I just kind of broke out in hives when you said 78.
78. I mean, I've definitely been there. Like,
I've racked up some takes,
but that's usually like I've hit like 40 to 60, let's say. If I'm at home, I've written a song and I want to put a guitar solo in it, and then I'm doing what Kirk does, and I'm sitting here just improvising, trying to come up with something cool, and all of a sudden I look at the takes, I'm like, oh, 47, dang it, But
no producer has ever revealed to me what number take I was on for fear of fucking freaking me out.
For fans at home, we should probably say when let's say you're in the studio and let's say the band has laid down a track and you're going to do a solo on it. Usually, the first 5 takes are really inspired, but the song is new, you're trying to find your way, and so a lot of stuff is kind of off the cuff, and so those first couple of passes for a producer are really key because they're really your heart speaking through the music. And then you get into this like danger zone of you kind of know your way around, you're trying to capture the magic of the first 3 but without the mistakes.
Yeah.
And you go through this long...
And it's kind of a diminishing returns.
Dude, you go through this just take after take after take where it's like, it's getting better and better, and it sounds better and better, and it just feels
But
terrible.
you're losing some magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta ride through that to the other side, and
Yep.
usually it can be up to the 70s, the 100, whatever.
Yeah.
Where, as a guitar player, you... Really what it is you're trying to get your brain out of the way.
Yeah.
So you
I mean,
get
how many takes do you think you did of Unforgiven?
Oh, at
least
that, if not
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
But what I think they should have done, if they're going to be at this level doing it this way, it's what David Gilmour used to do, is you patch it together through the improv.
Right.
But then you listen through and you edit, right? Then you learn the edit.
And then you play.
And then you perform the edit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe they did do that. Maybe they were.
No, I don't think they did.
Maybe they were unwilling to. I mean, with David Gilmour, for those of you who listen to Pink Floyd, very soulful, very simple, long notes and bends. Maybe with thrash kind of shit, you can't really do it that way. You have to just capture takes and edit. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of it was Kirk just, what it appears to be in the making of this thing is that he kind of just comes in when the bulk of the song is done, and a lot of it he might be hearing for the first time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've heard that riff here and there, I've heard that riff here
Well,
and there.
not only that, but hearing it, I think, before vocals were even done.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to get to
hearing
that
the
on-
arrangement the first time.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So
Well, and he seems like the kind of cat that, he doesn't really play the same thing twice.
well,
as
that's what Greg said. Yeah, Greg said he could just.
So the concept of piecing something together, him learning it and then playing it is kind of foreign
Yeah,
to his...
it'd almost be like they'd have to do that and then send him home with a
Yeah.
2 mix or something.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if that would be the right thing to do.
I agree. Like
I think-
maybe they really, and maybe that might be what I'm coming to terms with Kirk on the record is, it's the sound of him at this time with the band that we love.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wish it was, when they do their groove shit, which would be Black Album, Load and Reload, very groove oriented, laying it in the pocket and landing on those downbeats.
Yeah.
Is so important. And it's what makes the solos on Black Album and Load and Reload so great. And it's just sort of missing.
Yeah.
He's doing the frenetic thing of Death Magnetic, but Death Magnetic's not a groove record.
Right. Exactly.
It's thrash. So
yeah.
I think that's what I'm sort of missing. All right, now that we're dead, working title, Tin Shot.
Tin Shot.
The intro, our
Maybe
friend...
the snare originally was tin.
That's a few records ago. Our friend Eric Thomas, who I met in Seattle, one of the dudes who came out and visited us, he's a huge Kiss fan. I don't know if you guys will know this, but the intro to Now That We're Dead is very much like the intro to Lick It Up. Gun, 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 gun. Don't wanna wait till you know me better.
Lick it up.
I will say this is my favorite guitar sound on the record. It's this sort of chuggy, saturated.
Dude, the song.
The song is awesome.
Yeah.
It got quite far in our Sweet 16, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Although there are...
Didn't I vote for it?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Oh, we both voted for it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was up against, but you were surprised I voted for it.
Yeah.
Because it does have... We don't have to spend too much time on this, but this is the first moment in the record, first of many, where James is starting to reveal his religious ideology.
Yeah.
On the lyric interview he did kind of backpedal a little bit and make it a little more broad. He talked about it being like a Romeo and Juliet. Now That We're Dead could be a couple going through a thing, and now that they've gone through the thing, now that they've gone through this thing, they're on the other side.
Right.
Right.
He talked about it being also sort of an expression of the mystery of what comes next, which I, even though I'm not a religious person, very much resonate with.
Sure.
I'm very much agnostic on the question of what happens next.
Yeah.
So in that way, the song, I can still go on the journey of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think just melodically, it's so badass.
Well, I think
it
just
is.
the concept of like a song dealing with life after death is cool.
Yeah,
I
very
agree.
cool. Yeah,
You know what
now
my
that-
favorite
now
part
that we're
about
dead,
the
we can
song
live
is?
forever.
What's your favorite part?
Well, first of all, I think this song is the closest Metallica's gotten to rhythm-wise to Sandman. It's kind of the same tempo, ballpark. But what I love is Lars does the classic Black Album Lars snare crash in between the vocal moments. Crash.
Yeah, he does.
And
he
it's
does a lot
so
of this.
like when I'm in my car driving to it, I end up going, yeah.
It kind of makes you
Like,
Ooh, yeah.
It always for me makes me kind of like tilt my head. Tilt my head
yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Gosh, I love it. If I was in the concert, I'd be like, hand in the air,
Yeah.
fist in the air.
Well, and it's similar to Hardwired and Atlas in the sense that it's a riff, but it's like a chord riff. Right. It's not like a single note riff.
Yeah.
Like Atlas. It's sort of a chordal riff,
Yeah.
which I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
It's not that
Also,
sort of
have you noticed that
monotone-y
when
theme.
Lars does the snare crash thing, he also like flicks his head, and I missed long hair Lars.
Yeah, when he
'Cause
had
did that, it was like bah, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
the hair would go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Another argument about the load reload crap. Oh, they cut their hair. Well, they've had short hair for a fucking long time now.
Right.
So fucking get over it.
And guess what? Rob has long hair. Kirk has long hair.
Yeah.
You got 50% of the band with long hair.
James and Lars's
Reload
hair
sucks.
unloads.
Unload sucks.
Should we tell the unload story?
Have we not told that story?
We've never
before?
told the unload story.
Are you sure?
I don't think we've ever told it.
Oh man.
We were on a group text.
Yeah.
And we were talking about load and reload. or we were somewhere in there. And
this might have been pre-podcast.
This is pre-podcast.
Right?
It is pre-podcast.
This
is back when we did exactly what we're doing now, but no
we weren't
microphone.
recording it.
Yeah, it was the three of us and Matthew Mayfield.
And our friend Matthew Mayfield and Paul, who he revealed later he'd had a few whiskeys or something.
Yeah, it was definitely.
He
deep
legitimately, without joking, referred to Reload as Unload, and we ate his ass alive.
And we still do.
There was no mercy,
dude. I just shut my phone off. I literally felt like human being garbage,
minus human.
Yeah,
I mean, this happened. This has come back into conversation so many times. Even recently, like I'm currently writing a bunch of songs for a new record that I'll record with Paul.
They're fucking badass, by the way.
And I have there's a line where I use the word unload, and when I was writing it, I just started laughing because of Paul calling it unload.
Well, speaking of that, if you watch the making of the record, when they're sort of parsing the song out and writing it, Lars invokes, he says, this is kind of a memory remains groove.
Yeah.
And I like all the ties into Load and Reload, you've mentioned this several times before, but Hardwired is sort of this great, it sort of it contains the best of what we like about them.
It's a best of stylistically.
We've already been introduced to our thrash thing with Hardwired. We're going to revisit that again with Moth and Spit. And there's even a little bit of thrash in Atlas, but a lot of the record is sort of what we like about the groove rock of Load and Reload.
Well, I think it's that mixed with like the super heavy non-thrash songs of their past too. Like stuff like The Thing That Should Not Be.
Yeah, with Dream No More.
Yeah, exactly. They did such a fantastic job on this record of kind of spanning their whole career.
And Halo is kind of like a Harvester of Sorrow type. Jam. You know. I will say, speaking of me coming around on the solos, this is my third favorite solo on the record.
Okay.
And it only sort of shits the bed on the last few bars where, again, it's that Kurt kind of ends it way outside the pocket.
Yeah.
And it kind of boggles my mind that they left it.
The intro to the solo is my favorite part.
You could almost sing that, right? We're getting into...
just did.
Yeah.
And it's kind of exciting, right? He's doing these open string kind of pull offs and doing a big dive on the tremolo, and I don't know. It's like it's grown on me, and like, oh, Kirk, there you are. You were there all along.
Yeah, there's Kirky.
I'm the problem.
It really. I felt that way.
Yeah,
I felt like even with James's more religious lyrics, like the way they rub me on this record, I've thought, you know what, that's my problem.
Yeah,
because he's the artist expressing. We're going to get into this big time on Mankind and Here Comes Revenge and Am I Savage. But now that we're dead, also ideologically, it's when I start to feel like, oh, what's he saying here? But it is my problem, and I just need to sort of get on the ride with James.
Yeah,
or with God.
Clint,
I'm sorry, dude. I totally respect you.
The reason that we have Paul here tonight is actually this is
a religious intervention.
Religious intervention. Yeah.
Is Paul the new Phil? Is Paul the Phil Towel of Metal Up Your Podcast?
You and God need to zone it.
Maybe we will.
Actually, God's already zoning.
Are you in the Lord's zone or not?
You know what? One of my favorite moments on the whole record is in this song. It's after the solo when Jim starts doing that. This real syncopated thing, and it's got this delay on it. It reminds me a lot of Devil's Dance.
This is when they go into the drum thing live.
This is when they live they
the awkward
do
drum
the
thing.
sort of terrible drum thing. But on the record, it's this great down down, and there's this counter guitar on the far right.
Yeah,
that's also
like a call and response thing.
It's also James. It's not Kirk, but
right.
It did remind me of the intro to Devil's Dance.
Yeah,
because it's got this cool quarter note delay on it. What else can we say about the song? They and actually after the solo too, they do this kind of jam, and it's James, and it kind of reminds me of like Fixer and Outlaw Torn. This sort of pentatonic jam that goes into the All Sinners chorus. And I gotta say, it's one of my favorite choruses, even though I actually like conceptually the idea of like he says all. What does he say?
All sinners,
the future. All saints, the past.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's cool conceptually to me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's a song that I think a lot of people from a lot of different beliefs or walks of life can relate to.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
think
you
so.
said you're talking about Hardwired. Will they play this? I could see this one being one that's in their set.
I think
for a
so too.
while.
I give this song a 9 out of 10.
Me too.
What do you think?
It's unanimous. 9 out of 10.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when we have that sort of
just that unity happening.
the Metal Up Your Podcast unity. Moth and the Flame.
I'm going to go right ahead and say 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for me.
Yep.
You guys have heard me wax about this before, even on our last episode, but I think I've been saying this for quite a while now. It's an instant classic.
Yes.
And I
agreed.
think it's up there with their best songs.
Yes, I think so too.
I only have one question, and it's just a question.
8 inches.
Oh my God.
What's your next question? Was there another question?
That's it.
Okay.
My only critique of the song is if it was on one of the first 4 records, would it be slightly faster?
It's pretty fast.
It is pretty fast.
I
I think if it was like on Kill 'Em All or something, like maybe like 10 BPM faster.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, the riff you just sang was Atlas.
Shit, what are we talking about? So like I said, if Atlas was on one of the first 4 records...
I could see Atlas being faster.
Sorry.
I can see Alice being faster, speaking of that song. But Moth and Flame, I mean, if you think about that thrashy part, the light it up part, the light it up.
No, I'm not talking about Moth and Flame at all.
Moth is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Dang it, guys.
You're out.
Guess
You're fired.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paul Moak's last episode with us.
Okay, Outlaw Torn.
If you listen to the
Wow.
if you listen to the Song Exploder podcast where they sort of break it down, they talk about how they basically mirrored this song after Disposable Heroes, which is one of their fastest songs, kind of thrashiest.
Yeah, totally.
And even to that, which James wrote that.
Yeah, he wrote that.
It's similar to the from Disposable Heroes.
Yeah.
Based on the Amy Winehouse, he watched the Amy documentary. Obviously, the song is about the pitfalls of fame.
Yeah,
but I think it's just
it's lyrically it's heavy content.
I just think this song is perfect.
I think so too.
I never want to skip it. I don't have any problems with it.
I just think it's slow. That's all.
It's too slow.
I'm kidding. I was
You
totally
would though.
talking
When I
about the
record my
wrong-
last EP with you, every
Paul
song
would liken this song to like Low Man's Lyric
Yeah.
or Fade to Black.
Yeah.
when I recorded my last EP with you, every time I played you like the demo, you're like, all right, I like this. Let's speed it up like 8 BPM. Like every song you wanted to speed up.
Maybe I have ADD with music. Or
It's
something.
fine. No, you
Pothead.
made the right call.
He's stoned all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if you were stoned, it'd be a lot
I do
slower.
think part of what makes it sort of harkens it to the classic Metallica for me is that intro with that guitar harmony. It reminds me of Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
Totally.
Kind of like.
I think every riff in this song is fucking great.
I totally agree. And the riff he plays under the lighted up stuff, it's another sad but true moment where it's like singing that over playing it tight.
Impossible.
It's so
I figured that part out today on
crazy.
guitar, and it definitely was easier to actually play than what I originally was just listening to. Like when I first heard it, I was like, "Wow, that's fucking crazy! What's he doing right there?" And when I learned it, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty easy." But I wasn't singing and playing that at the same time.
And it sort of betrays or exposes that they write it before they do the vocal,
Right? Yeah.
which is such an interesting way to write songs, especially riff heavy
Yeah.
songs. I think it's the best chorus on the record.
Soldier soul.
Built a high wall,
Yeah.
and then when it gets to that, seduced by,
Yeah.
rise
Seduced by
and
fate.
fall,
Yeah.
cares at all.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. So if you
Sorry, you said you think it's the best chorus on
I think
the
it's the
record?
best chorus of the record.
All right. I disagree, but
All right.
that's okay.
We'll make it through.
Yeah, we'll make it.
I wanted to ask you this. So if you listen on headphones or if you listen to it cranked, there's this really great delay on James's vocal.
Yeah.
And it's like a one delay, like you just hear the one repetition, but what if you hear it in context, you can really hear this in the making of the documentary where you kind of hear James working through the vocal just with his SM7, which I'm recording this podcast on right now, by the way. You can hear the delay, but when
You
he's
sound
singing,
just like James.
yeah,
You do.
Your luck runs out. But when you hear it in context, you don't hear that delay. So
Yeah.
I wanted to maybe get your perspective on a lot of people talk about reverb and delay with vocals,
Right.
and what's the benefit and how does it work, and what does it matter if you can't hear it when all the instruments are in?
Right. Well, to me, this whole record, juxtaposed against the last record, and especially like the Black Album, that's more of a pop-produced album. I feel like the reverbs and delays on James's vocal on this record are exactly what you would hear when you go see them live. It sounds like they're in a stadium, you know?
Yeah.
So you
And I
think that's
almost
what they
wonder
were
if they
going
had
for?
conversations about like, because to me there's a big distinction between this record and the Black Album in terms of an album that's made for radio, MTV. Like there are pop tricks that Bob Rock did with the band that are all over the Black Album, Load, Reload, that are interesting to me as a record maker. This is very bare bones, and the delay and reverb on the vocal to me just sounds like, hey, when we go play this for 80,000 people, we want the record to sound like we're in a stadium.
Yeah. Well, it's a common thing to say in the studio when you're in a band is you're recording and you're like, you ask yourself, like, how is this going to translate live?
Right.
How is this going to sound live in general? And I've been in the position before where we, maybe like Metallica did on this record, where you basically cater what you're recording to what you're envisioning it's going to sound like live.
Right.
You know, like, we wouldn't actually do that live. We'd probably change that, so let's go ahead and change it now. You know, so maybe they did that with this stuff with James' vocals.
I guess what I'm saying is there's nothing super complicated about the ambience around James's vocal on this entire record.
Well, there's a lot of times when you're cutting a vocal where a singer, like you or myself, or even you, Paul does vocals too.
World class singers. Thank you for that vocalization.
No problem.
And I rent. So, a lot of times what happens, a vocalist will say, I do this in my demos and when I write every week in my studio, a vocalist will want reverb on their vocal.
Sure.
And we never want to commit to that reverb. So we'll put reverb on sort of a bus so we can kind of fuck it up later. We can have sort of pure access. But so I can see James wanting delay and reverb for comfort while he's tracking. Yeah, but then you can hear it in the post where they've actually built it in. So what are the most common subtle but important reverbs? Is it like a plate reverb and then like a...
Usually there's 3 or 4. There's usually a slapback, which is like
a really quick delay.
Yeah, like if you listen to old Elvis stuff,
like old 50s Sun sound shit, yeah. It's
real prominent in that music, but it's still used today. And it's just to make the vocal kind of stick out and seem bigger than life. It's obviously a lot more buried than
it's more records. Felt than heard, right?
Totally. And then they'll usually do like a quarter note or half note delay that's in the tempo of the song, like da 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 da, hey 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 hey, you know, that kind of thing. Which that's all over this record. And then but those are delays. With reverb, there'll be some kind of just ambience. To me, it sounds like kind of stadium-esque reverb around his voice. There's not really a whole lot of quote-unquote reverb.
Yeah, it's kind of dry
on the record. It's more delay. And honestly, maybe it's because we went to that show in Detroit, but it really feels a lot like how I felt when I was hearing it live.
Right.
And to me, I mean, that's kind of a tip to the hat to Greg, in that a lot of times when I'm working with an artist, I'll say, you know, the recording's gonna be different than your live show, but we want the person at the live show and the person that's hearing your record to feel the same.
Right.
And
so it can't be too different. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what they were going for. It's like, we know we're gonna go tour the world off of this. So
it is weird to think about when you're at a band that level. I remember reading a Chris Martin interview, which I don't know what people think about Coldplay. It's sort of fashionable to hate them. I think they're actually remarkable and great. But
yeah, I like them.
Chris Martin talked about, you know, when we started selling out arenas, it changed the way we wrote songs, because we wrote songs anticipating these songs being on a record that we would then go tour. And the difference in playing in front of 500 people and 30,000, you want to write songs that project to these people.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's why I've got such a problem with that scene in Some Kind of Monster when they're like, you know, this record sounds like a band in a garage, except the band happens to be Metallica.
Except they're going to sell fucking 60,000 tickets.
Yeah.
So to me, like, I think their mentality probably changed of like, no, we want to write songs that we can go out and play in a stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
And to me, this record is that.
Totally. Well,
and it's been proven because they go
for
out
sure.
and play them.
And they've been playing
awesome.
a lot from this record.
Oh, yeah. They've played almost every song off the record live.
They've played the first 6, and they've played Spit, and they played Mankind. So the songs they've not played are Here Comes Revenge, Am I Savage, Murder One. I think that's it. They played Dream No More, they played Halo, they played Confusion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be shaping up to be their next kind of Black album in terms of they're going to play.
I think so.
You brought it up, so we'll keep it going. I know we need to keep moving on, but I feel like sonically, this is the closest that they have come to the Black Album.
I agree. Well, I would say sonically,
I was flipping back and forth between them today, and
I think you're right. I think it would be both sonically and song wise.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
You know, I get it. Load and Reload. It's a double album full of experimental alternative rock songs. There's no way a lot of those are going to make it through those tour cycles.
Right, yeah.
But this feels different to me.
It does, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because you got Spit, Moth, Halo, Now That We're Dead, Hardwired,
Yeah.
Confusion. These are songs that they don't have the experimental alternative vibe that Until It Sleeps had, or Hero of the Day, or fucking Slither or something.
Yeah.
These feel much more viable.
Yeah.
For
You
a
know
long
what though,
time.
man? I think those songs are studio songs.
Yeah.
That is a band
I agree.
like crafting art in the studio, and there's merit for that. This record is, we want to go play those songs for the world.
I think that's probably one of the best.
They're live songs.
That's
yeah.
one of the best sort of distillations of that I've heard. Is like a lot of the Load Reload songs were studio songs.
Yeah.
It's why
Yeah.
Low Man's lyric never really took off. You know,
Right.
James sort of, I think at the time envisioned Low Man's lyric being sort of a nothing else matters type moment.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Which is why they played it over 100 times live, because I think he was
Trying
trying
to
to
push it.
create that, and then it didn't. You know,
Yeah.
Low Man's lyric's not nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's one of my favorite Metallica songs. It's going to be on our covers EP.
yeah.
I think
But-
it's impossible though to look at Load and Reload out of context of the time period that it was in, because that was a very the climate around music allowed people to go that
to
far in
to
the
go on the
studio.
ride more.
Yeah, totally.
And you know, arguably it's them at a peak of their powers.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because it's
Yeah.
post their biggest record.
Right.
So whatever they're going to do is going to have some different legs than otherwise an experimental record might not have.
Right.
Yeah. Totally.
So all that gets involved. Anyway,
So
okay.
does that mean now they can do reload?
Well, now they can do Unload.
yeah. Unloads the third record of the three.
All right, let's move on to Dream No More. If you guys remember our top 10 episodes, this made my top 10. It's not in my top 10 any longer, but I still give it a 10 out of 10 on Hardwired.
I'm going 10 out of 10.
9.
9. Close. All right, I'll take it.
It's a good average.
Obviously, it continues the Cthulhu mythos. James said
Yeah.
this is the response. This is obviously Cthulhu awakening, which he says many times in the song.
Yeah, a couple times.
And anytime,
Which his vocal on that is fucking awesome.
it's one of the best. It's very Memory Remains in the sense that he's got the stacked octave.
yeah.
He circles black men rising. He's got the
I love
low
the,
guy under
love
it,
the octave vocal on the
which is
verse.
what he did in Memory Remains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime, I think James might feel some sort of social pressure if he's writing a sort of social song like Master of Puppets, or you know, a song about addiction, or like Here Comes Revenge, or Am I Savage, like sort of heady internal songs. I like it when James is writing like about characters.
Yeah, totally.
This is a chance for him to just maybe imagine he's writing about this Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah, you're writing from third person.
So it's just kind of like poetry.
Yeah. No, I fucking love this song.
I do too.
This is not my favorite, but one of my favorite choruses in the record.
It's the only down-tuned song, so it's down-tuned, so we got that kind of flavor. I think it's in C sharp.
This is the one I've mentioned before that it totally reminds me of the thing that should not be on the chorus.
And it should remind you of that, because it's the thing that should not be is part of the Cthulhu mythos.
Right, yeah.
And it's meant to be in that heavy realm.
Yeah.
The big four of that is Things Should Not Be, Sabbath True, Devil's Dance, Dream No More. My only problem with the song...
Call it Cthulhu, too, because the lyrics in that song are amazing.
I love the lyric to that song. My favorite lyric is when he says...
It's so good. Oh.
My only problem with the song that hasn't aged well for me is like the intro feels kind of long, like those big diamonds.
Yeah, it's a little long.
It's like, get to that. That riff is so fucking killer.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my goodness, I love it. The post-chorus riff is great. And they do that big stop before the solo, a la Sabbath True.
Yep.
Yeah, you hear like a little breath in there too.
Yeah. Is it a or a?
It's more of a.
Yeah.
Give me a few.
Give me 5. Give me that which I desire.
I can't even get my joke in because you guys are going.
Get your joke in there.
You got a joke better than our whispering fuel.
Dance.
Come on, let's dance. This is another great solo from Kirk, by the way. That really grew on me.
Definitely one of his highlight solos on the record.
I think so, because he kind of lands it, Like
this, I would venture to say that this solo is very Black Album-ish.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
It sounds like something that he would have come up with in the studio with Bob Rock.
It's the solo is a little loose, but again, like I was saying earlier, I think it could have been better.
Yeah,
but it doesn't bother me anymore.
The end of the solo is great though. That might have been a Hetfield thing because it ends up becoming a riff.
Well, it's because it's kind of a guitar harmony thing. Yeah. It almost sounds like an Iron Maiden song.
Yeah,
the way they do that. It
really
harmony.
does. Yeah,
it's maideny.
Yeah, but it is a great transition going from his lead into that over that where it gets a little bit more mellow. And I'd imagine that Hetfield maybe wrote that little thing because that ended up becoming in the song like a heavy riff at the end.
Most of the melodic hooks we hear on this record, whether it's the outro hook of Halo or it's the pre-chorus hook of Moth or is James.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because for whatever reason it's mysterious to us, Kirk wasn't super involved. But dude, the
waves were good that year on the ocean, man.
But dude, the outro to the song.
Lost his cell phone in the ocean.
Yeah.
To awaken, wake, dreaming no more. That could go on another couple minutes for me.
Oh yeah, totally.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
I love Dream No More.
Yeah,
all right,
it's good.
Let's go into Halo on Fire,
which brings me to my favorite chorus on the record.
Your favorite? I see. Okay.
Yeah, this is why I kept voting for that one in our Sweet 16, which helped to get to number 1 of the Fiddleman Productions. Mm-hmm. But this chorus,
it's a great chorus. I think I have a note about
into it, dude.
I have second best chorus on the record.
Second best.
What's your first?
Moth.
Okay, that's right. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
When I first got this record, the first time I listened to it all the way through, I was in Oakland, California. Me and my wife were out there visiting friends and family, and I woke up super early, got the record. My wife was still asleep, and I sat there, put my in-ear monitors in, and I sat there in my friend's kitchen while my wife was sleeping, and I was just listening to the whole record. And I got to this chorus, and when he does that scream going into the chorus, I mean, and it happened like multiple times, just chills up and down my arm. like the way that he executes that in the studio, it sounds so good.
It's a great lyric too.
Yeah.
The idea of, well, first of all, just the title.
Yeah, Halo
This
on
is one
Fire.
of those songs where, like, if, as a songwriter, you just get that title, you write it on a napkin at a bar, and you're like, this is a song somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Your halo's on fire. This idea that you're trying to be good, you're struggling with it, fear to turn out the light, the darkness won't go away.
It almost
Yeah.
seems like something like the title of like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just,
The guitar harmonies in the chorus fit really well in between what he's singing.
it's kind of perfect.
It's very perfect.
Yeah.
It's, I give it a 10 out
I
of
give
10.
it. It's got a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about the
Paul,
chorus to me?
hang on.
Out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Nine?
All right.
Okay.
My only 0.1 or whatever is the chorus, kind of all groove is gone on the chorus. It's like literally the drums are punching the bong, halo, bong, bong. Like he's never like.
You don't think this chorus is groovy?
I think it's groovy.
Halo fire.
Totally.
The midnight knows it well.
Well, I see where you guys are on this end of the conversation. No.
Yeah, we're on the chorus.
Yeah. I think what it is for me is maybe the fact that you know what? I'm just gonna let you have it. The chorus is awesome.
Look,
10 out of 10.
Speak your piece, bro.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
it's all good. You convinced me.
Wait, so you're changing to 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Okay. If it wasn't late at night, I would get on my drums right behind you right now and play this chorus, and you would hear some fucking groove. And then I would give you a snare crash just for good measure.
I love it. In between vocals.
I don't see any
Yes.
reason why you shouldn't go do it.
Well, my wife's been asleep for about 4 hours.
Okay, that's a good
She
reason.
works early in the morning, so
It's got great guitar harmony too, and like that main had that.
yeah,
I like the new intro that they've been doing live, where James kind of does the creepy thing.
yeah.
But I like the directness of the recording.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
they just kind of sort of get right to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you heard, everyone listening at home or wherever you are, heard the beginning of this episode. We inserted the song as our intro, and it's a very exciting intro to me. Just that bum bum bum. When I first heard it, I didn't think, oh, that's the chorus.
Right.
And I like when bands do that. They put in some bitchin' intro, then all of a sudden you get to the chorus, you're like, oh, that's what I heard at the beginning of the song.
That is
How
awesome.
about that super weird moment before the outro where it's like, boom, boom, it gets really clean.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, and there's like harmonics being hit.
Yeah.
It's this really weird, like 8 bars.
Yeah, I dig it.
And then it goes in the bow, bow, dow, dow.
This is kind of a fade to black.
I think I have. Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
I have no problem with the track listing of Hardwired. I like it. I think the first half's stronger than the second half. Like,
Yeah.
I think the first 6 tunes are kind of just fucking barn burners. And
Yeah.
I think you kind of get into some, some patty stuff a little bit. Murder One being kind of the biggest, problem there.
Poo-poo.
I wouldn't say poo-poo. But,
It's no Saint Poo-poo.
but I do think Halo on Fire should have been track 4. It should have been the track 4, the classic Metallica track 4.
Yeah, going to that, track 4 ballad.
I'm sure they worked really hard, like we've all done on records we've made. They
Yeah.
sequenced it. They listened to it in their cars a million times, a million different ways, and
Yeah.
I'm sure this is what they landed on.
Sure.
I buy it, but this should have been track 4, man.
It would have been cool.
It's that
and then,
great
and then
track
going
4
into Dream
thing.
No More after this.
Oh, dude,
That would have been cool.
damn.
But
That
it,
bum, 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 bum.
So good.
So anthemic. Dude.
oh, it's great. Yeah.
And the solo doesn't bother me as much as it used to. It's sort of meandery,
I
but
agree,
I
yeah.
do still think it's sort of a wasted opportunity because it could have
Yeah.
been great.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
I was going to say that, and we talked about this on the last Hardwired episode. Kirk, he did a good job on this solo, but I really think it could have just kept going and going and going and going. And the way, and that's why I use Fade to Black as an example, or like Sanitarium or something, where he just, like on Fade to Black especially, it's just this constant like crescendo. It just keeps going to this awesome place, and then it's an even better place and better place. And like you said, it's a missed opportunity, I think, on the end of the song.
You're pretty much describing how Kirk describes the solo in A Year and a Half in the Life, where he's like, are you telling me I can't plateau and then take them to
right.
another level?
Right. Well, and that's the difference between having someone really pushing him, like
Yeah.
it does feel
Yeah.
like if you've got Greg being a little more passive than a Bob Rock might have been, and you've got the drummer of the band who doesn't play an instrument producing the solo.
Right, yeah.
This is what you get. You get
I
some
like your theory though, man. I'm really starting to come around to that of like maybe Lars is the hero in this circumstance, in that something was going on with Kirk that Lars needed to be there to kind of like, come on, man, we can do this. And they got what they got.
You know what I think is going to happen? So, Saint Anger happened, and Kirk, although he was a co-writer, unfortunately, of some of the lyrics and all of it, Kirk was a fourth of that whole thing.
Yeah, his lifestyle.
His lifestyle determined his death dial.
Oh,
his lifestyle determined his death dial.
Yeah.
But Kirk came out blazing on Death Magnetic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he totally did.
He fucking had something to prove.
Yeah, bent up aggression after Saint Anger.
Maybe the next record we're really going to see a lot of not only Kirk showing up. I'm miming playing guitar right now, shredding right now. Not only in that way, but also in writing contributions. Yeah, because we have no co-writes from Kirk.
Right,
and I think Metallica is at its best when Kirk has writing credit.
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning, Creeping Death,
Sandman.
Enter fucking Sandman.
Yeah,
everything on Death Magnetic, Kirk wrote, co-wrote. All right, let's get into Confusion.
Confusion.
Working title, Lima. And I gotta say, this intro, it sounds straight up like Am I Evil?
Dun, 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 dun.
Right.
Not opposed.
Is that just like overt homage?
I think it probably is a little bit.
There's no way that was lost on them.
Yeah, no.
No, but if this intro was used on Kill 'Em All in addition to having Am I Evil on the same record, I don't think anyone would be opposed. Yeah, there's similarities, but they have that kind of stuff on a lot of intros.
It's thematic, dude.
I'm with it. I dig it.
I love this intro. When I first heard it, I was like, "Fucking yeah, Am I Evil?" That's what it reminds me of, and that's not a bad thing.
Well, it's one of my favorite riffs, the one before the verse.
Yeah. You just turned it into a thrash song.
I think he's put a disco beat on it. It's a Depeche Mode song.
I was made for loving you, baby.
You. That's Desmond. By the way, that's Desmond Child.
Wow.
Desmond Child wrote "I Was Made for Loving You" with Kiss, with Paul Stanley.
Wow.
It's their biggest European single.
Good for them. Cha-ching.
Cash Money, 1979.
Kiss will never go fucking disco.
Oh yes, they will. Kiss will do whatever it fucking takes.
Yeah.
Kiss will
wild.
do whatever
Few
makes
more
them
units.
money. Yeah.
They will do whatever it fucking takes.
Oh, yeah.
Man. They'll fucking do a duet with Eminem in 1999 if that's what it takes. Confusion, generally about PTSD. It's kind of James doing his kind of great war shit.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Disposable Heroes and One and Don't Tread on Me and all this.
Yeah.
I learned this week through the Master of Puppets Deluxe box set interviews, you know what Disposable Heroes was originally written about?
What?
Football players.
Football players.
Oh, no shit. Football players.
No way.
I swear to God. Disposable Heroes, these kids who give their lives and bodies to the sport that sort of destroys them.
Right, yeah.
And then they're disposable. A football career lasts 10 years.
Yeah.
Wait, so he wrote that about football?
He was watching a documentary or something about football, and that's how it ended up evolving into war.
Right,
Soldier
yeah.
Boy, Made of Clay, etc.
Yeah.
But the original inspiration, original impetus for writing that was about football.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Shocking,
that
right?
just goes to show that
me
you
to
can
learn
find
that.
inspiration anywhere, even in football.
Even in foosball.
In foosball.
He usually wrote it about foosball. I might be saying that right.
I think you misread it. It was foosball.
Could you imagine them playing that live and like instead of in One when like the skeletons are walking across the
it's like
the
dudes in
screens,
helmets
it's like,
and shit.
Yeah.
It's the Miami It's Dan
Skeleton
Marino.
football players.
Dan Marino's like the spokesperson for Disposable
Laces
Heroes.
out, Dan.
Boomer Esiason is there.
Ray Finkel.
The refrigerator Perry shows up on stage and introduces the song.
Refrigerator Perry.
I think Confusion is badass all around. Cool turnaround solo, but I hate how the solo from the turnaround bleeds into the second verse. And it showcases that Kirk's doing the solo parts before they even had lyrics and vocals, because he plays over the second verse and they kind of mix it down, but it's super distracting.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's really weird.
It is a little weird.
You really think they did that before vocals were cut?
I don't think they did the final mix or anything, but I think that Kirk cut the solo before and they just kept it in and mixed it down.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah. Easily one of my favorite verse chord progressions and melodies in this record.
I love this song.
Yeah.
Wake to face the day.
Yeah. Grab his off and walk away.
So good.
Oh,
it's
great.
really good. This song is a juggernaut.
Oh, yeah.
The solo has too much wah, but I wrote it doesn't bother me anymore, and it actually captures a bit of the sort of frenzy of PTSD.
Yeah.
I don't know if they intended that, because I don't think Kirk knew it was a song about PTSD
I think
when
Kirk
he was cutting it.
His instinct is to put that foot on the wah pedal and just go.
But let's cut to the chase. I give this song an 8 out of 10.
I'll go with you there.
8?
Yeah.
Paul Moat gives it an 8 out of 10.
Unanimous. 8.
Unanimous.
Yeah, I would do
There
8,
you go.
yeah. That's 2.
I can't describe how much joy it gives me when we have
You look
unanimous
very
feelings.
joyous right now.
Well, I feel great. All right. Man Unkind.
Love this song.
Love it. I love Man Unkind.
I would say the first maybe couple months of listening to this record, I liked it but didn't love it.
It grew on me. Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh yeah, but when it grew on me, it's gonna be a long time favorite song for me. For
It
sure.
grew on me like dormant HPV.
And what a great rip! That's got some groove.
Well, can we talk for a second about Rob's intro? All right, it's beautiful, but I think we said this way back on our first episode. It feels sort of forced.
Yeah, or maybe he brought it to the band like I have this thing, and then
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think he wrote it after.
Yeah, I think the band is like, we need a moment on this record.
And I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
because even that really I think it's all bass. It's all basses.
Yeah.
You know that one's a guitar that.
No, I think it's a bass.
Really?
When they played it, though, I think they played it in Paris. James played that part, and he clamoured it.
Really?
But I love that sort of pulsy, grr, grr, grr. It feels like something they haven't done before.
Yeah.
It felt kind of new.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a very groovy, kind of cool, funky, bouncy
Well,
riff.
they do that on the Black album. That yeah, I like that they did on this song. Right after that intro, it's a good setup for the next part of the song where you're getting that cool groove riff.
Yep.
Great verse too. Chaos.
Well, this is where James gets kind of like. Now, James, for the first time, I think in the history of his lyric writing, kind of does betray his Christian ideology, because when he says chaos waiting for Adam's return, we're all fairly familiar with Christian theology. I went to Bible college, but this idea that Adam's coming back, Christ is the second Adam. You know, Adam was the first man. Christ is coming to sort of redeem. Like, that's heavy Christian theology. And so for James to sing that, it exposes for me, it makes me feel a little bit excluded. He's such a broad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's spent so much of
it's
his
very dialed into the subculture.
lyric career making really broad statements, and he's making, to me, that's like, I wonder what people who don't know what that means think about that lyric. Chaos waiting for Adam's return.
Yeah.
He's talking about the coming of Christ.
Yeah, that's a deep one.
And then the second verse, he says, Garden of Eden, so simple and pure. He's like really nailing this idea of like, mankind is sinful, mankind is not what it should be, and we're looking forward to someone saving us from that and taking us back to a time when it was pure.
Making America great again.
Dude, Donald J. Trump.
I cracked the code of this Hetfield lyric.
I'm sure Donald feels that way. I'm sure he sees himself as the second Adam.
I actually wrote that lyric.
It's probably the best lyric ever. No president's ever written a fearless lyric. Is
I know that James says that he wrote it, but That's fake metal news.
Oh my God.
You do a pretty good Trump, dude.
Is that? I was about to say it. That's the best Trump I can do.
It's sad. Sad, really.
It's sad but true.
Oh my gosh.
You fight fire with fired.
Oh my God.
That's all I got.
Fired with fired.
Oh my God.
You're trapped under ice. That's so bad.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyways.
Okay, so the bridge, the fascinate, and then that's a delay, cool saturated
That's a cool
delay.
yeah.
It's a really cool moment. It's one of my favorite moments on the record. But the seized by the day,
Great melody.
oh, it's such a great bridge.
My only hang up on that part is I wish Lars would have changed the drum beat a little bit, because he does it before that, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just I wish it was more of like a halftime, like he does like doom guys, doom guys. It's like a weird kind of beat. It's almost like the beat he's trying to do in Some Kind of Monster. But
yikes!
I kind of wish it was more
Stock.
like seized by the day.
Ting,
King.
ting.
You wanted a stock beat. I get it.
Oh,
something
it's super
a little more
stock.
stock, yeah.
a little more stock. Yeah.
Stop picking
I told
at
you
me.
I was in a shit mood.
What
I
have you
am
been doing?
in a
You've been
shit
picking at
mood.
me all day. What do you not understand? It's fucking stock to my ears. Come on, guys.
Give me this. Like,
We got better
hammer
things.
it out in there instead of hammering on each other.
I got better things to do. Yeah, I do have better things to do. And then he slams the door that will not slam.
In his overalls.
Mankind, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I
Did we
do
do
it.
ratings? 8?
I mean, I just like seeing you happy, so 8 out of 10.
Fuck yeah, we got another 8.
Yeah.
Here comes revenge. Working title, Riff Lord 72.
Riff Lord 72.
This is actually kind of sad. So the origin of this song is some mega fans, or actually a fan of the show, a daughter of a couple, was killed by a drunk driver. And the parents, their only way to really still feel connected to their daughter is to go to Metallica shows.
Wow.
So James learned about this, and that's what he wrote Here Comes Revenge about.
Wait,
Yeah.
so the daughter was the Metallica
The daughter
fan?
was the fan, and she got
Wow.
killed by a drunk driver. The parents sort of adopted her love of Metallica to feel connected to her. And he basically wrote the song about, he talked about how, like, they have exercised their grief and anger by getting more connected with what she loved.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, I'm so inspired by that because all I can think about is revenge.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, I know that's probably not the answer, but that's all I can think about. And for me, as a dad of a daughter, I'm like, oh, I'm so with that. Fuck those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck that forgiveness shit. Fuck them. And that's what the song's about.
Yeah.
You ask forgiveness, I give you sweet revenge.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
It's heavy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, what does that look like? Is he just in a meet and greet back when he used to do them?
Well,
and
I
someone comes up and says,
I think
whole
if you're
story?
if you've got a story or a fan, it finds its way to someone in the crew or management or someone on the forums or whatever,
Right, yeah.
and it makes its way to the band.
Wow, man.
You know.
I mean, it's got to the point where Hetfield's going to write a song about it.
Well,
though.
they're such a
That's-
fan-friendly band.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, of
Like,
course,
I think I could imagine James hearing that story, befriending the couple,
Yeah.
learning about them, and
Well, him being a
internalizing
father
it.
himself too. He probably
For sure.
But I love
hit
that
home.
it still has that twist of like, yeah, I'm gonna bring this in and use it as a genesis for a song, but filter it through my thinking, which
Right.
is the opposite of what you would.
Right.
You know.
Well, because he's
so
this dude
brilliant.
who struggles with anger, and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it for me sort of counterbalances the mankind sort of Adam and Eve shit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm sort of leaning into my darker nature
Yeah.
as a father and as a human being. You know,
Yeah.
someone who maybe needs higher help from wanting revenge.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
you know, and just it's so
It's really cool.
those verse vibes of that little grave I'm grieving, I will find you.
I love the melodies in
Oh
this
my
verse.
god, it's so good. I give Here Comes Revenge a 7 out of 10.
I would give this an 8 out of 10.
8?
Yeah.
I was thinking 7.5.
Oh, we're going
God, we're
points?
doing increments now. Here's an observation I made when I was sort of burning this record down today. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this. So, a lot of the songs on Hardwired have interesting chorus like tag hooks. You ask forgiveness, I give you sweet revenge.
Yeah.
Hardwired to self-destruct. A moth into a flame.
Yeah.
Halo.
We get it, dude.
Fast as that. Halo on fire. It's like they all sort of have these hooky chorus ending things.
They're straight up hooks. It's like
That's a Lars thing, man.
Atlas, rise.
yeah.
If you look at like a Fade to Black or
it's
One,
a crowd thing. I really believe that like a lot of bands like this write these songs, they come up with these little parts, and in their minds are thinking this is going to be so cool live.
Well, that Lars does that in the Hardwired thing.
Yeah.
When he in the documentary, he's like, "Man, it'd be really cool if it was like
Hardwired
Hardwired
to
to self-destruct." And then I did something.
Right.
Right. It's like you watch them craft that right there.
But if you think about their other work, there wasn't a lot of emphasis on that.
I think that's a Lars thing. I think that's.
Well, like Rome doesn't do it. Inner Sandman doesn't do it. I think some of their songs do it.
Inner Sandman? Off to Neverland. That's a similar thing.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't say Inner Sandman.
Well, true.
I'm talking about like a titular.
Are you talking about like actually like you say the title?
Or like Cthulhu Awaken even. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a theme. To me, it felt like maybe like a puzzle piece I was connecting. I thought maybe this is sort of a motif of Hardwired, is that these songs have big, huge choruses, and all the choruses have these big tails that sort of.
It's like a tagline.
I know that's what choruses do, kind of, but like, I don't know. It just felt to me like a thread.
It is a thread for sure.
But maybe it's not that unique to this record. I don't know.
Maybe not, but there's.
You've reached the end of the line. Yeah, maybe they've always done this.
End of the line.
Cause you're Unforgiven 3.
It's actually how they've ended every song in their entire catalog.
I've just gotten it all wrong.
As well.
All right, Am I Savage? What do you think about that song? Hold on, we can't keep that.
Either that or I feel like we should just tell the listeners what they're listening to right now.
Okay, full disclosure, we've been editing the episode and we just realized that we neglected to talk about Am I Savage with Paul Moak.
We fucking skipped Am I Savage.
So here we are, post edit, Ethan and I.
So Clint, what do you think about Am I Savage?
I think we should have talked about it on the episode.
I think you're probably right.
Well, now that we're here making it right, the working title was Saw Blade.
Saw Blade, okay.
And this, we've talked about this on our first Hardwired episode. This is sort of the part 2 of Wolf and Man.
Yeah, it kind of is.
A lot of wolf imagery.
I would say this is definitely like less, a little further down the ranking in my favorite songs on this record. Not my least favorite, but.
Well, I'll save my rating for the end because it might surprise you.
Okay.
James talked about, when he talked about the lyrics of the song, he talked about the word inheritance was really important. There's the line of inheritance. A lot of the song is about how who you are and what you've been given haunts you no matter what you try to do.
Yeah.
And he said that idea was so strong to him that he wanted to call the record Inheritance.
Interesting.
That's how important this song was.
I don't know if I would love that as an album title.
No, Hardwired to Self-Destruct is way better.
Yeah, kind of. It's much better.
But he talked a lot about his own son and how what James learned from his dad was anger, and how he, for a lot of his son's life, that was sort of the cycle he was perpetuating. You know.
Sure. Sorry, I can't can't make eye contact with you
because we're talking so seriously about a bit that we totally miss.
Yeah, we feel like an idiot. And Paul, and by the way, Paul's gone, right? He already went home. He's already in bed right now. But continue.
I do love the mellow intro and how it sort of ramps into a heavy riff.
Yes, I do love that. Yeah, it's awesome.
It does this cool bluesy lick thing. The pre-chorus and chorus are great. The bridge is... This is what's crazy about the fact that we almost didn't talk about the song. The bridge is the heaviest moment of the record.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go. That sludgy...
It's very sludgy, yeah.
Very sludgy and heavy.
Shit.
The solo's cool. It's my second favorite solo on the whole record.
Second favorite. Nice.
Yeah, second favorite.
Nice.
And did we do it?
We talked about Am I Savage briefly, but we talked about it.
Post edit.
I would say that this is my second to least favorite song.
So
again, not that it makes it a bad song, but
here's the blanket statement I would make. If we're gonna call a turd on the record, the turd is Murder One. Everything after Murder One is solid sauce. So even though Hardwired's my second least favorite, Hardwired is still fucking awesome.
Of course it is.
And you're saying Am I Savage is your second least favorite after Murder One.
And it's still fucking awesome.
And it's still great, yeah.
As is Murder One. So.
And they haven't played it live yet. I'm looking forward to a debut of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really love Am I Savage.
What would you rank this?
I give the song an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
8.
Wow.
I love it.
I was going to go for 7 out of 10.
I love the songs on Hardwired so much.
I know, me too.
What do you think, Paul?
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 Never in the history of this show has that come more into play than perfectly right now.
Yeah, more apropos.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there with us on this edit.
Sorry about the flub, everybody. This might take over for the Outlaw Torn, but hopefully not.
Okay, let's burn through. We got two more. Murder One. What do you guys think? It's my least favorite.
It's my least favorite. I don't hate it, though. I don't skip it.
I don't skip it because I take Hardwired as a whole.
I did the first few months. I did skip it here and there, but now, like, I was literally hanging Christmas lights on my house yesterday listening to this record, and I listened to it twice through as I was hanging lights, and neither time did I skip this song. I still really like this song.
I don't skip it, but I do find myself feeling kind of tired during it.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to Hardwired in sequence, when I get to Murder One, it's the first time I'm like, ooh, I'm tired. This is long. It's one of the shortest songs on the record.
If there is like a down moment on the record, you're saying you get kind of tired of what you're listening to, this would be it. But
it's just not real memorable. I give it a 4 out of 10.
4?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty low.
I go 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 or 6.
I've got nothing below. That's my only thing below a 7.
Conceptually, I wish that the song
because it's about Lemmy.
Yeah, man.
And we all love Lemmy, and
totally. But it almost feels forced to me.
It just feels. You know what it feels like? I mentioned Lords of Summer earlier. This song should have been track 1 on the 3rd disc.
Right. Yeah.
Bonus. Deep cut B-side. 3rd disc lead off before all the covers. And Lords of Summer should have fucking been here.
That would have been cool.
I think Lords of Summer is fucking awesome.
That's a great song, yeah.
It just feels like I love Lemmy. I love the Murder One was his bass rig.
Right.
Yeah.
Ace is High and Born to Lose. I love all that. We love Motorhead, but it doesn't feel strong enough. Especially if we're talking biblical themes and themes of technology overtaking man and the fame destroying you, and it just doesn't add up. It doesn't cut it with that material.
I wonder if this was a song that maybe James fought hard for because he wrote it about Lemmy.
You think so?
To keep
it's very
time.
I mean, it's in the time. Lemmy passed while they were making this record.
It's kind of topical and present and fresh, and
so it might not have the legs that a lot of other songs did, but it was probably fresh on their minds.
Oh yeah, very much so.
I will say they don't have a lot of songs like that. Like even with Cliff, they only To Live Is to Die is really the only sort of homage to
tribute
Cliff.
song.
Right.
Yeah,
which is surprising to me that they didn't write a real song about Cliff, like a lyrical song about Cliff. Isn't that kind of surprising?
Yeah, a little bit.
If you think about it that way.
I mean, maybe over the years it was just something that was just, you know, like to them, no matter when it was still too soon.
Yeah.
Like, I can't dive into that, you know.
And maybe they felt like To Live Is To Die kind of did it.
Yeah.
They got the poem.
Right.
I don't know, an homage song that's that blatant, that's that direct, feels doesn't fit.
I don't know. I still dig it. Still give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. Okay, let's move on. All right, last song, fan favorite, new single.
Wow.
And a fucking a new classic, Spit Out the Bone.
One out of 10.
Wait,
Psych.
were you talking about the Spit Out the Bone Cafe?
I was actually, yeah. I was talking about their chicken wings. Terrible.
I've never got to eat at it. I did sneak into it.
Yes, you did.
But I was afraid to eat anything otherwise being exposed. I didn't go to the Memory Remains museum either.
Wait, could you actually smell the food? Were you that close?
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Did it
I saw
smell
people
good?
getting it. I had I think Brad Blades, the guy I was with, or maybe even some fans I befriended in the main atrium, offered to go get me food.
What were some of the items?
I didn't even look. I declined.
For sure, it was like chicken strips and fries and onion rings. It was
some of the. So it seemed to be like catering, local catering for every city. Some of the consensus was that it was pretty dope. Some of it was super super shitty.
Oh, okay. Well,
it wasn't like their own cater. It wasn't like their own chef.
Was it like the meat was really good, but the bone you just spit out? I'm sorry.
Eat the it's
late.
Speaking of that, I learned a factoid today that I will share with you now. The line, the title "Spit Out the Bone" that James stole, or borrowed, as we do here in the music industry.
We do.
From an early 80s UK punk band called GBH.
Oh, GBH is fucking awesome.
So they have the song called Passenger on the Menu, which they wrote about the 1972 Andes flight disaster, where a group of survivors had to resort to cannibalism to survive.
Oh yeah,
for 2
there was a
months.
movie about that in the
Alive.
90s.
Well, that was Alive. That was about a soccer team. Is that the same thing?
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that in South America?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where South is that in New Jersey or
Of course, it's in New Jersey.
Andes, New Jersey.
So the lyric was, "Had no choice, lost and alone, eat the flesh, spit out the bone."
There you go.
By the way, GBH is an awesome punk rock band.
Okay, cool.
I've met those dudes. They did a couple dates on Warped Tour years ago.
Yeah, and Alive is an awesome movie.
It is awesome.
And eating people is an awesome meal.
Can you play Flight of the Bumblebee?
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, speaking of that kind of
Bumblebees?
dexterity shit, Rob Trujillo plays that hook with his fingers.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's footage in that documentary of Making Hardwired where he's playing it with his fucking
He's
fingers.
he's a fucking.
I mean, I knew he was great, but
robot.
it's still so impressive because that riff is so dope.
Yeah. No, he's great.
I think he's probably the technically most proficient bass player.
He's the best
Metallica.
musician. I think he's the best musician in the band.
Yeah.
And it's telling in a lot of the Making the Hardwired documentary when Greg or James are a little lost on chords or notes.
Yeah.
Rob's always a guy that knows exactly what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's compensating, or maybe he still feels like the new guy. Whatever it is, he knows what the fuck's up.
I just think that's his brain. That's just how his brain works. With
Yeah.
being
He's just a great musician.
Great musician.
It's my favorite lyric on the record. Favorite lyric by far.
Which one?
Spit out the bone.
Spit out the bone. That's the only lyric. I
No,
know.
no. I meant like the.
Well,
You said lyric when she meant the whole song.
Well,
or
what
just-
James is talking about is, he's playing devil's advocate for technology, saying, "Wouldn't it be easier if you weren't so neurotic about love or feelings?"
Yeah.
So it's talking about remove your heart; it's only good for beating, bleeding through your fragile skin. Come unto me, I guarantee devotion. It's basically saying, give up all this human stuff that bogs you down, that inhibits you, and let's just make you an efficient machine.
Yeah.
You know, when he says, flesh betrays the flesh, and he talks about machine, the new divine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some scary shit.
There's some spirituality stuff in there too. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
Even the way he's saying like, "Come unto me," that kind of stuff.
I
like,
guarantee devotion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it applies to maybe a religious person like you guys or a secular person like me of like giving up humanity, giving up what's tough about being alive.
Yeah.
Whether your idea of what happens next is heightened or spiritual or not, but like all we have is really this that we know of, and the idea of like technology overtaking even that, which would be sacred to me. This is all I got.
Right.
Even though relationships or depression or mental anguish plagues me, I still wouldn't give it up.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to let it go. It's what makes me human.
Exactly.
And the song is kind of like a warning about that.
Yeah.
It's really prescient, and it's like, it's as good as, to me, it's as good as the lyric in Master of Puppets or Blackened.
Yeah.
It's as strong as that, and as forward thinking as that.
Yeah. Or the football player song.
Or is that what Disposable Heroes is now? Is forever now the football player
the jock
song.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be on Varsity Blues, but
Yeah.
With James Vanderbeek?
yeah, it got beat out by Collective Soul.
I got a long way to run.
Oh, run like football. Let's put it in the movie.
There's some running in football.
No, I'm with you, man. The lyric, to me, it's James at his best.
Oh man.
And I mean his vocal execution too. It's a good double on the vocal.
Yep.
James really shines on thrashy songs when he uses shun words. You want to feel a pressure?
Yeah.
Like he really
Hesitation, elevation.
totally Blackened. It's that.
I don't know what those lyrics are, but they were like
Debitation.
exactly. Debitation.
Masturbation.
Planet dies. The same planet dies after a series
Planet
of
dies,
vegetations. Consultation.
Altercation.
Like
Planet
Can you
dies.
imagine Pop? Well, trashadation, reservation, desert die,
Planet dies.
consultation,
Consultation.
consultations, remunerations,
Salutations.
salutations. Say goodbye.
Adios. No, I mean, I'm sure we can all agree. Like the second we heard the song for the very first time, it was like, oh my god,
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 out of 10 for sure. Instant classic thrash Metallica song.
And like, I love that even if like, I think we have several more Metallica records ahead of us. We've said this is sort
I
of a
hope so.
banner of our podcast almost, is that it's a great time to be a fan of this band. But even if this is it, this is a great, I mean, in recorded document, now that we have Metallica, this is the last thing we have. It's a fucking barn burner.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
if next
this is
year
their
they
last
announced-
statement.
Oh yeah, if next year they were like, hey, there's our last tour, we're done, we're quitting, we'd be bummed, of course, and this podcast would just go away. But if Hardwire was our last thing we got from Metallica, oh my god, it'd be amazing.
I think it's a fucking awesome record.
Dude, I would say is it like another one of their masterpieces?
It's cracked my top
Dude.
5.
I mean, I know that I probably sound like a broken record, but a band that's been around for 35 years putting something out that we're talking about with the same enthusiasm that we talk about the Black Album or Master Puppets or, Kill 'Em All or whatever.
A lot of bands that long can't do that.
Name one.
I mean, in my opinion, the last
Budgie.
really good U2 record was still in 2000.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Can't
Can't
Leave
Leave
Behind.
Behind. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that was 17 years ago, and they've released what?
And that was a
3
great record.
Records? I don't know.
I mean, we're talking decades beyond that, though,
Yeah.
I think
It's really kind of, I mean, that's what freaks me out about this band is
they're like
there's
the last.
there's no roadmap for
Yeah.
this. I mean, the Beatles broke up, the Stones, I mean, they're one of my favorite bands, but they haven't put out a relevant record
not
in
since
years.
Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah.
Neither is Paul McCartney. Neither is Dylan. Paul McCartney put a good record around 2000 called Chaos and Creation.
Oh, that's a great record.
Nigel,
with Nigel
Godrich.
with Nigel Godrich. And I would say Radiohead, although they're 10 years later,
Yeah.
but they're still making great. A Moon-Shaped Pool is one of my favorite records of all time, and that came out last year.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like a band Metallica's level, a Led Zeppelin, a Rolling Stones. Metallica's
And not
like
one that developed an entire genre of rock and roll.
Metallica created American thrash metal.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's almost like them creating it, they were doomed to be punished in the early 90s for
Right.
evolving.
Right.
Doomed to be punished for Saint Anger. Doomed to be Punished.
For Lulu.
Well, rightly so. Yeah. But no, I think Paul's right. Like, what could we point to? They're like pioneers.
Yeah,
they're very much so. Yeah,
they're still pioneers because
the only band that I've thought about this a lot. The only band, the American rock band that I feel like is comparative would maybe be Aerosmith, in the fact that I would consider the 90s of Aerosmith kind of where Metallica is now.
With Get a Grip.
Where they were making culturally relevant records that kicked ass, but they weren't really comparable to what they were in the 70s because they had evolved
completely
so
different.
much.
Sure, yeah.
Even from the 80s.
Whereas, like, the fact that we take songs off of this record and we're like, you know, for me, like, you know, that compare to, like, the Black Album or something, and to actually say, like, in 2017, this band is making something that rivals their best, you know, or most popular record.
Yeah.
I just don't know of another band that does that.
Well, think about a band that's made a record 25 years since their biggest record that's as good. I mean, that's
it's unheard of.
That's very unheard of.
That's they're sort of lone
Spice
wolves
Girls.
up there.
I mean, of course, the Spice Girls. Duh. But I think, I mean, the enthusiasm when this record came out and people got it and heard the songs. I mean, I had people texting me that, like, I didn't even know were Metallica fans, but they knew I was a Metallica fan. Like, have you heard this? And of course I was like, yeah, I've heard this. But people that
yeah, of course I have. I was eating seitan earlier and I heard it.
Seitan burrito.
But you know,
I had a burrito, wrapped it up,
no
and
cheese.
put a fake egg in it, but
only fake eggs for me.
no real eggs were harmed in the making of the fake eggs.
But you know, the overall enthusiasm behind this record, not only was it 8 years since Death Magnetic, but they put out something that kind of blows that away.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels like a moment. It feels like a moment in their career, even more than the Load and Reloads, and even kind of more than Saint Anger and Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
It feels like a fucking moment. It feels like a Black Album moment to me.
Yeah.
Well, I think album sales and the touring ticket sales have proven that.
Stadium tour,
You know?
sold out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
There's rumor that, contrary to the common belief so far, that the next U.S. tour will be an arena tour, that it might actually be another fucking stadium tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please play Nashville.
You think they'll do another round?
If they can,
Well, I know they're doing
if they
another US
can,
tour, yeah.
I think they will. I think
Yeah.
if they're analyzing the
The ticket
tickets,
sales.
they might try to do. It might be one of the last times they can, you know, for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because they're in a moment. It's a moment.
Yeah,
dude.
it is. Yeah.
Death Magnetic, the World Magnetic Tour was fucking arenas.
Yeah.
That
I
was.
will say, don't you think it's a moment that also kind of, and this is a whole nother, I know we're super long in this episode, but it's a moment in America that's kind of more than just Metallica.
that needs it. You mean?
I just would like stadium tours and rock bands selling out it's a moment right now. I mean, you
It
got
is. I mean,
I think
Guns.
people are leaning on not only harder music, because there's a lot of unrest and aggression and
Right.
fear in culture. I think they're leaning on hard music and leaning on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think it is of the political moment too.
What if their
Yeah.
next tour is a stadium tour and it's a Guns Metallica Part 2 tour?
Holy
Could
dude.
you imagine?
I don't think there's a stadium big enough for the both of them.
Gosh, that'd be amazing.
Who wants to see a truncated set from either of those bands?
Man.
Well, it's just like a 4.5 hour show.
Yeah. I'm in.
Oh, are you? I'm get me hopped up on that Colombian cocaine
Dude,
you got in your butt
Someone
right
in
now.
management has to have brought that up to the band. Like,
For sure.
you guys are both touring. You're both selling out right now.
25 years later,
Let's
another
redo
headline,
the tour.
co-headline.
Yeah.
God, man, I'd be in a
Oh, I'd be
heartbeat.
so in, yeah.
You just made me really happy right now.
Thank you. Or, sorry, I mean, you're welcome. Whatever.
Thank you.
But no pyro.
No, it's all LED
Yeah.
fire from now on.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
There you go.
I hope that
The
happens.
hologram Izzy on stage, just so you know.
No,
Where's
man.
Izzy?
I want to get the real Izzy in.
Izzy!
Paul, Izzy?
I have to wake up my wife.
Sorry.
Izzy's with Paul. All right, so let's wrap it up. We did it. We revisited Hardwired.
Yeah.
What can we say about it? It's a fucking awesome record.
It's a near flawless record, and it surpasses at least 3 other Metallica records for me. So
yeah.
It's sonically so good, like comparing it to some of my favorite Metallica records today, and it holding up, and honestly, sounding even bigger in some spots. Like, I'll be listening to it for a long time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I think we all will. I think it's sort of a benchmark record for them.
Yeah.
Yep, it is.
All right, so for those of you who heard about the contest, you heard it at the front of the show. All of you winners, if you've listened this far, these many hours later, write us in. You know what to do. Send us a thing. If you want to get in on that contest, send us a positive review on iTunes.
Yep.
Write in. Let us know what you think about Hardwired and Paul Moak and Ethan Luck and Clint Wells and all that shit. metalupyourpodcast@gmail.com. What else can we say?
I think we could sign off here.
Should we say thank you to our co-host Paul Moak?
Paul Moak, thank you so much for being here.
I would like to single-handedly take responsibility for how long this podcast is.
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It's only like
and
2
metal
hours
up your
and
ass.
20 minutes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's time to sign off. You guys can find us on the socials, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check out patreon.com/metalupyourpodcast.
Here's what we got coming up. We're interviewing Michael Wagner tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Tomorrow. 1 week from as you're listening to this.
We'll have the episode out where if you guys don't know, he mixed Master of Puppets.
Have you heard of Master of Puppets?
Deal.
MBD. So we're interviewing Michael tomorrow morning, Ethan and I, somehow. Yeah. Hopefully we won't be too hungover. And we've got Tom Quee from Alpha Metallica is coming on the show in December.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing really soon our 1-year anniversary show at the Basement. We're working out the details now.
Yeah. We will hopefully by the next episode or 2, we'll have all the details. So if you are in and around the Nashville area, or you want to travel from far and wide, we are going to have a 1-year anniversary party where we record a live podcast and spin Metallica tunes, drink specials, free koozies for everybody, that kind of thing. Yeah, we'll get you more details once we have that confirmed.
It's been a cool year, and we got a bunch of good shit planned and all that. So
yep.
Thanks for hanging in. Let's just wrap it up. Let's all go home. So with no further ado, we'll just say peace.
Adios.
Happy 50th.
Thank you.
Oh, that was nice.
If you were our advisor, what would you say? Then I would say, delete that.